Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheem Aljume out of Atlanta, Georgia, but we had a couple of people here that's with us this morning. First, we got my baby girl. This is Mary. Good morning, Mary. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Noah. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. And Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Sad.
Boy, I tell you, boy.
Greg Abbott won again.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not in a good mood.
Hmm.
He's a horrible human being.
Mm. Well, and the sad part about that, and I don't know him, but what I can say is a lot of people, for whatever reason, voted for him. And so that's the part that's so disheartening to me. Um, how people could continue to vote for these people that some people say are very are just terrible. Here in Georgia, I'm wondering how it's probably gonna be a runoff between uh Warlock and Walker. It's probably gonna be a runoff. How could that even be possible with everything that Herschel Walker got on the table that's in front of him? All the accusations that he's had, and it's crazy. But you got all kind of people that do all kind of different things for whatever reason. I mean, I can't understand it. How in the world that people, so many people, would cast their vote for Herschel Walker? But that's what they did, brother. So I understand. I feel your pain.
Oh, it says that Brian. Who was Herschel Walker?
Herschel Walker is the one that was running against Warlock.
Was that for a Senate or something?
Yes, it is.
You know Warnock won, right?
Huh?
Warnock won.
Well, they haven't. From what from this morning, they hadn't announced it yet. If he did win, it just came across the pike that he won.
Oh, I'm on the U.S. elections thing,
Yeah, yeah.
and
If
it
he did,
says Raphael Warnock 49.4% of the vote. Herschel Walker 48.5.
but you got to have at least 51. You got to have at least 50 plus one. He never reached the plateau yet. In order for it not to be a runoff, he have to have 50% plus one.
Oh God.
And so with that being as it is, he has he hasn't won yet. Um, and they're pretty much gearing up for it to be a runoff. Is what they're gearing up to. And
Mm.
again, I asked the question how, but people vote the way they want to vote. They're saying that I've been looking at a lot of the different news channels, and a lot of them were saying that the biggest loser in this whole election um is and was Trump. Hmm.
Mm. How does that work?
They say because pretty much everybody that he endorsed and he stood behind did not win. The people that he did not endorse, like the Santos out of Florida, he did not endorse him at all. He won. He's a Republican. Trump did not support him. The guy out of here, out of Georgia, Kim, Trump did not support him at all. Talking bad about him, he won. And so the people that Trump endorsed, somebody got some doors going on in the back.
So I wanted to throw this out there because it was something that I was looking into.
Mm-hmm.
Of people made comparisons of when we've had a Democrat president, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they always say, how bad it went.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they seem to be so dumb.
Let's not call people dumb now.
Well, I'm just calling it what it is.
Mm.
Um,
Again, let's not call people dumb now.
when they're presented with the facts of the House and Senate are can win votes because there are more Republicans than Democrats, and the laws that get passed or don't get passed is
Mm-hmm.
because of them. They'll turn a blind eye
Mm.
and just blame the poor old, face of the country, the president, and
Mm-hmm.
think that the president has all the power, which is the biggest lie our country tells its public.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's certainly another thing, man. But my thing is, I'm still trying to figure out how could, and maybe somebody that's listening to us right now, quite a few people that's listening, maybe they could call in and let me know, what I'm missing, because evidently I'm missing something. You know, I'm missing something. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Mary, what do you think about what's going on with the elections and all this stuff, the count and how people are voting?
Oh, I don't think about it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Keep yourself out of a lot of headaches. Keep yourself out of a lot of headaches. Let me go to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, talking to me now?
Ibrahim,
Hello?
yes,
Yeah, I'm here. Hello? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
You hear me? All right. Yeah, man, well, I missed a whole lot. I don't understand. I'm just like my brother there. I don't understand why people would vote for certain people and why people try to form a country under one person's under one person. That's
Mm-hmm.
obviously been proven out to be incorrect, a liar, and cause a lot of trouble in the economy. But everybody's waving the flag, and the answer you always get from them is, well, how can well, what about Biden? What about this? What about that? Right? Well, how come you didn't do it? What about the Democrats? Well, how come you did? What's the Democrats? The Democrats, and everybody go for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything from that. I mean, it started back when he's talking about Hillary Clinton, and then was maybe some kind of cabal of a child molestation at a Pizzagate, right? A boy went in there and tried to kill somebody, right? Thank God he didn't find anybody. And guess what? It's all a lie. And so we talk about that, all the lies and trouble they call January 6th. They can't wrap their brain around that. And the thing is, like this Walker thing. Obviously, Walker is not fit to lead anything. You know what I mean? Not even a high school football team, for I'm concerned, right?
Good
And
Lord.
I mean, you can hear the way he talks, and even if he preface things, it's about what are we gonna do about this? Well, I'm gonna make America old and safe. Well, what about this part? Oh, well, you see what they've already done. She was bad, and like the city candidate, Democratic city candidate, had done all that by himself, right? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like he's done this, he's done that. Well, you look at you go 97 times. What have you done? I just beat white women. That's all. I got my eyes with it. I mean, come on now. I
Mm.
can't believe, back in the day, if you put your hand on one way, well, publicly like that, not several,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you would be lynched. I mean, literally lynched. I mean, out in public. You know what I mean? And this guy, they I guess they know that he's a puppet. You can put a hand up his derriere, right?
Uh-huh.
And you move your hand, he'll say what you want him to say. That's all it is. That's all I can say. It is. But
Mm.
why would you risk such thing? Because suppose you like get all of a sudden feel, got all, just like you got a football game. This old story about ladies upstairs and she's trying to, at a fire, she trying to throw a baby somebody, and she throw a baby, this wide receiver. He runs up and catch the baby. Then all of a sudden, when he catch the baby, everybody started cheering. He throw the beast, crash the baby down, bam, smack the baby, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How do you know what this movie will do? You
Mm.
know what I mean? Why would you trust, all your, but look, this was happening. The the Trump the Trump Republican Party is officially losing, right?
Yes.
Because the people that he supported, a lot of people he supported lost. The
Mm-hmm.
Democrats had gained in the governor race, and they picked up one seat so far in the Senate race, right? So it's all tied. It's even in the House of in the House of Congress, the Representatives, or House of
Mm-hmm.
Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
They tied right there, right? Democrats might lose a couple of seats, or they might gain a couple more seats. It's undecided. Same thing in the Senate. They're equally same thing in the Senate, but the races out that what the Democrats are doing or might win are all out and might have and the votes are not all in. They're so close, and in Georgia, Walker's behind a couple of points, and I don't know why I can't remember his name.
Warlock.
Warlock. Warlock. Okay, well, and so he's ahead but he's not quite made 50.
Yeah.
But anyway, even if he did make 50 by that, it'd still be a runoff because it's so close. You know what I mean? So, but I can understand why it's that close. I scratch my head. But
Hey,
anyway,
brother, you and me both, brother. You and me both. Scratching my head. I'm trying to understand it. Hold on, I got a few more people. Ibrahim, let me pull some more people into the conversation.
Okay.
I'll come right back to you, brother, because you know this
Gotcha.
is it, and I'm right there with you on this here, brother. I'm right there with you. I'm gonna mute your line because you got a little background, know what's going on. But yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning? Yeah. I know. I know.
Man, when I tell you I feel confused. I'm like, where are we living? I just got through talking to my daughter, and we talk about some of this stuff, and I was like, where could we go? How much money would it take for us to move to another country and start over? Like, just choose a really, like, another country. That's all. And I don't get it. I'm confused. What has happened to this country? Anytime someone with Herschel Walker's mentality, his record that speaks for itself, let your life speak for you. That's what we always say. When you see somebody like that and they have a race that close, it tells me a couple of things about the people that are voting for him. You don't care what he's done. You don't care that he's inept and incapable. That man couldn't. I don't know. I don't know. Help me, Jesus. That's all I can say, because I don't know. I just don't get it. But these people are voting for people strictly on party lines, not on the issues. You know what I'm saying? How do you just vote for somebody just because they're a Republican? I've never done that. I've never done that. I always look at the issues and what that person is going to bring to the table that I'm concerned about and my community is concerned about. These people don't care what this man does. They backed him strictly because Trump said he's the way to go.
Yep. And see, and that's terrible. But like you said earlier, I said it earlier, Ibrahim reiterated the fact a lot of the people that Trump was supporting, Republicans,
lost.
They lost.
Thank
they
you,
lost.
Jesus.
And the
Thank
ones
you, Jesus.
and the ones that he had issues with or did not back or one another, like DeSantis in Florida. DeSantis won. Now I don't agree with DeSantis, not at all. But at the same time, Trump did not support him, and he spoke out against Trump, and he won. Here in Georgia, Kemp. Yeah, Kemp. He
put Kemp. Think about it. I ain't never heard few more times somebody put somebody down so much, and y'all need to get him out of there. Boo 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 boo. And oh Lord, okay. I don't want to talk about your boy because I'm gonna get a headache real early.
Let me go to Cap. Cap, good morning. Rico, coming to you next, brother. Cap, what's on your heart, brother? With this whole situation that's going on, man. Even with the Herschel Walker situation, and how could so many people, from your estimation, and I know you don't like a lot of politics, but how could so many people vote for him to make it a runoff? That it have to be a runoff against a man that's like Warlock. Warlock, I think, in my estimation, I think he's a better candidate. I think he's a better person, but it's so close right now. Cap, what do you say to that?
Man, I'm really shocked that we shocked.
Yeah.
We
True.
don't want to call a spade a spade. He's a tool and a fool that people use. I mean, we call him Uncle Toms. Some cases, house Negroes. They always had a few of us in the woodpile. We call the Negro in the wood pile.
Mm-hmm.
And when they need them, it's like a mannequin. When you go to a department store, they have a mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
Now the mannequin is not real,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You dress the mannequin up. The mannequin can't dress himself.
Mm-hmm.
So you put on the mannequin what you want to sell. I want to sell this suit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put this suit on the mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
The mannequin got no power. Its only purpose is to be there and sell.
Mm-hmm.
Once the suit is sold, you take the mannequin, put it back in the closet, turn the key until you need the mannequin again.
Wow. Wow.
Herschel Walker's a mannequin.
Mm.
He was there to sell a Republican agenda.
Mm-hmm.
They used him. That's not shocking. The
Mm-hmm.
question is, man, that, are we tripping up? Because let me tell you, you got still a lot of mannequins out there.
Yeah.
You got a lot of them out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to call no names.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the nature of politics. I mean, that's what they do. And of course, that was the purpose, to sell a Republican agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And they use poor brother. They know he's not the brightest light bulb in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he has a lot of head injuries as he was playing football. I mean, hey, but the bottom line is, brother, that's politics.
So basically, he's
politics.
he's accomplishing the mission that they have him set to do.
I'm okay. I mean, and let me tell you something. If he don't win, then look at here. Will they invite him over for dinner?
Never.
Will you hear any more of the Republicans and Herschel? They won't.
Mm-hmm.
They won't. He won't be invited over to dinner if he lose. Once he lose, if they invite him over, they have a table in the backyard by the doghouse, because he's of no more value.
Mm-hmm.
They use our celebrities. Well, I ain't gonna say celebrity, but it's brilliant. Let me tell you, it's very brilliant. It's very brilliant because Oprah, she brought this dude Oz into reality. But Oprah used her celebrity status to go with my man in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And he won.
Mm-hmm.
So there comes a time where, celebrities do have the power to get. Now, when I hear my sister talking about move to another country, listen, man, I wouldn't care if they stacked the deck with Republicans higher than Mount Everest. It's just, to me, this me talking, man. Just me. Don't get mad at me. I don't think it's going to change the reality of the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. Really. Now, that's not to take away politics has this thing. I'm sorry, my sister didn't win the governor's race, but the black violence, man, it's real. Because that's where we're losing. We're not losing at the political, because if I look at all of these judges and prosecutors, I'm looking locally here in Ohio. I'm looking at all these white judges. Black folks ain't go out there and recognize. And when you hear these white judges who was petitioning for vote, you know what they said? And I stand with the FOP and be tough on crime. That should have been enough for Black people to pack the polls and say, well, I can't get that judge, because what he's saying is, I'm about locking up Black people. And if
Wow.
I say, that's my man. But Black people didn't see their handwriting on, or maybe they did, because I would have said, oh, buddy, I can't get that judge in there. Prosecutor, I'm going to be tough on crime. And they show him walking with the police. I endorse the We said, oh, we don't want that process. It's sad. It's very, very sad.
Yeah.
Because not only we don't understand the value of voting if we decide to do that, but our disunity. Because we're fighting over crumbs,
Yeah.
fighting over things that's not real. So, I mean, that's my spin, Brother Writing.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. Just having another beautiful new day, man. Out here getting it in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Trying to survive this little cooler out, man. It's a little cooler this morning.
That's better for you, don't it?
I mean, yesterday, yesterday felt like spring, man. As long as it feels like spring and fall, it's cool. If it get anything too close to absolute winter and summer, when it's too hot and too cold, that's when it's rough. But when it's feeling like spring and fall, oh man, you stay outside all day.
Exactly. What's on your mindset, man? How in the world could this race in Georgia be so close? And this whole situation with Trump and the people that he support losing as they did. What kind of message is being sent, if any at all?
Like Captain Dennis just said, business as usual. I look at it this way: if there's anything that's disappointing, like maybe the how many votes Herschel got, or maybe the lack of black participation, because that's gonna come out. People have to start doing more strategizing and get past the shock and the uproar, because I mean we've been going through this since Bush and Gore. They started that trend. I mean, I've never seen elections contested and go through so much controversy and scandal since Bush and Gore, and ever since then, every election, up and down the board, from presidential to local, you have these situations. But it's an indication really about how society is divided. And really and truly another indication of how, I'll put it this way: you have to attract a voter for them to vote for you. That means you had to appeal to them. And so you have to ask yourself, what was it about this person that made them appeal to that voter, that made that voter, go ahead and vote for them? And you start finding out that a lot of times it's about finances or something that they gain. What is it that they gain from voting for this person? What is it that this man said or this woman said that appealed to them, that made them feel like, okay, it will benefit me to vote for this person, and ignore all the rest of the stuff that he said? And when you start looking at it, even though you might not be able to find out exactly what it is, you'll start finding out that there's no integrity in that vote. There's no humanity in it. It's all about a selfish individual gain. Maybe it's about the money or the finance. You know how many people said they was thinking about voting for Trump because they made more money since he got in office? Man, you know how many poor black people, I mean, I've been in doctor's offices and heard people talking about politics that didn't know nothing about politics. But what they did know is that Trump gave them some stimulus money. And they needed him back in now, because at least he gave us $2,000. He easily bought and sold. So, the thing is that's how people get elected, man. They sell you something that you feel like you might benefit from. And to the rats and the gerbils, that's the biggest part of the experiment. Any little crumb sound good to them, so they might be influenced to vote in a direction that really doesn't benefit them, because that same $2,000 doesn't make up for the laws in place that's locking up the people in your community and your family that targets them. You get what I'm saying? The health care. That $2,000 won't make up for the health care that you need. You might spend more than that $2,000 just trying to get some health care.
Yeah.
So, and the people that was going to try to help you get that health care, you didn't vote them in because they didn't put $2,000 measly dollars in your hand that you spent within the next 2 days, and what you bought with it, you probably punted about 2 months later or sold it for the low. So, when you start thinking about this mindset of money over everything, if you ask the question, what's going on? What happened? Why is it that we keep going through this? Because people are voting for benefits and for monetary gains. And they're thinking about money over everything instead of integrity.
Wow. Let's keep this thing going on. Let me go back to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother? Hold on. It might be, let me see. I got a mute because he had the background noise. There you go, Ibrahim.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. I think Rico made some valid points how people look at things, right? Like it was a couple of statements made like the last 2 years of Biden was a disaster. You know what? That's crazy, right? Because inflation is really something that was already in effect, right? You know, it all came with disruption during the coronavirus, during the what's the name administration, name I care not to mention. And our people died. And Governor Kemp won by saying that he's first one to open the state because his wife wanted a hairdresser. He said that right on TV. His wife needed her hairdresser, right? So he opened up the state, and then more people in Georgia died because of that. And we're still arguing over that same thing, right? About that. And the other thing is that look how many millions of jobs, man. It's more jobs than people out unemployed.
Yeah.
It's jobs that can't be filled, right? And I mean, good paying jobs. And now the kids are and just like if you're 16, you can just about get a job at any fast food place because they're so short because people are getting better paying jobs. Yeah, the inflation went up. So the top did better and the middle class is doing better, the working class, but you still got the increase of everything else, right? You're not happy with it. But, you know, I tell a story of 25-cent bread, 25-cent carton of eggs, right? 25-cent gallon of gas, right? A nickel for a soda. You know, 16-ounce soda. I have to go on and on and on. You know what I mean? And but the thing is, cost of living increase goes up, and then we forget about the because of coronavirus, that people didn't have the materials. So even though the materials were there, the manufacturers didn't have it. So demand remained the same, and supply got short. So when demand overreached supply, you have an increase. And what's happening is, and it's been said over and over again, the corporations are still profiting off those demands that they had because they done lost money. Now they're trying to recoup the money they lost. And by the way, the stock market went up. It went back to where it was, right back before Biden was elected. It went right back up, and people are making money. Now people lost a lot of money because of the cryptocurrency, but that had nothing to do with anything else. And lesson number 3, the stock market has nothing to do with the economy and everything to do with the economy. This country, that's crazy saying that, but you think about it, you hear that over and over again from a lot of economists, right? But the last thing is that that our country is based on spending. And even though we have high inflation, spending is still high. Why? Because you have more jobs, right? People are making money. Well, the price of housing went up, right? Because people are making money, spending, people paying more for housing. You know what I mean? So it's just like a catch-22. Damn, you do. So then now the interest rates went up because that's the only way the Fed can have to control the flow of money. You take the money out the government, right? You take the money out of people's hands, right? By increasing the inflation rate, all right? People are borrowing less, right? You know what I mean? So that slows down the economy and buying. But that might cause inflation to slow down the economy and buying because what? Our economy is based on buying. You get me? So it's so complicated. But people use the most uncomplex thing to explain a very complicated issue.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So the whole problem of the matter is that's why we're so pushed around by everything, by people make sound bites. Everything that Trump and Trump mega Republicans said was so untrue, or like conspiracy start. Well, therefore, I saw this person at that place. This place has been known to harbor this, so therefore that person's connected with it. You know what I mean? That's how conspiracy goes. You take a half truth or no truth and just make a statement and then try to put everything to follow it up. And people are accustomed to that. You know what I mean? People actually listen to that and like that and believe that. Even though it has no substantial truth, because they say, why? Or you won't hear it because the cabal, the holy, unholy cabal, right? They do this and they do that. And the Republicans have changed all the voting areas for their benefit so they can elect Republicans. It's hard to say, you know. I can explain how they do it. Right, but you look at me and say, "Well, that's crazy," you know. What that, but that's what it is. That's what it is, right? And the only problem I have with it is the Democrats do the same thing, and we have the same problem. Only we have Democrats. We have power homie people Democrats. And I was looking for one Republican in the state of Georgia I could vote for. I was considering Kemp because some of the things Kemp did right and a whole lot of wrong. So I said, well. And he's got background. Stacey don't have the history, right? So I said I went with Stacey anyway. And I wound up coming to a whole Democratic ticket. What I hate to do. I like to split. But the good news is that all these races, everybody did split tickets. Most Republicans did split tickets. They were electing public governor, and they won't let a Republican senator or a Republican congressman or vice versa. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's one of the good things that's happening. And the saying that Trump is losing, but I don't know how much power he has. When I made a statement about the violence and everything, Democrats win. Well, it ain't all done yet, but I don't know if Trump's going to try to push that violence card and start talking about this conspiracy theory again that the votes been stolen.
Well,
We know they
one
want
of
to
the
steal
young
the votes,
ladies,
right?
one of the young ladies that's a start. She's with Trump very firmly. She's already saying that she wants to sue this because she's losing. Trump support her. I can Lisa something, whatever her last name is. I can't remember her name. I'm sure one of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But she's already saying because she's losing. She didn't think that she could lose, and because Trump was supporting her and endorsed her, and she's riding Trump coattail all the way. Thought she was gonna ride it all the way to the office, but it did not work. And now she's saying that she's going to go in and she's going to sue and he's been taking this. And when she finally get in office or whatever, she's gonna make sure that she do something with the voting system in her particular state. Crazy, man, crazy. Let's keep this thing going. I'm gonna mute your line, brother. Well, you don't have a background noise going on right now, but if you get noise, I put the mute your line again. But in the meantime, let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart? I know. Brother Ibrahim, you wanted Stacy to get in. How disheartening was it
Yeah, I really did, and it was so many reasons I wanted her to get in, mainly because of her agendas.
mm-hmm.
Just anybody, listen, if Kemp was pushing, helping the poor, having good health care for everybody, if he was pushing the things that I am passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
not all, you don't have to have all of the agendas that I do, but if he'd had some,
mm-hmm.
maybe I would have considered voting for him, Democrat
mm-hmm.
or Republican, because I have in the past voted Republican for some people that I really felt like they would do a great job,
Mm-hmm.
but they cared about people. That's always my thing. Most of the people that are running in these different offices, their agendas are not the poor, the needy, the seniors. Their agenda is them, the rich, making them richer. How do we keep the money in going into the 1% group? I can't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand how
Yeah.
poor people vote Republican,
Mm-hmm.
because Republicans, as I from everything I know about them, they have almost never supported helping the poor. What the
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Wow.
just saying.
Absolutely. 50-243-1508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to have your input on the conversation. We're talking right now. We're gonna switch the topic. This is the way on Wednesday, so we're gonna switch all over the place in a minute. So y'all put your seatbelt on real tight.
Can I throw something in?
Yeah, I will. Let me go to Brother Pete, who we hadn't addressed him yet. Brother Pete, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, DKM. Republican won last night radio. No.
Oh Lord. And talk directly into your phone for me, brother. You're just a little bit low.
Can you hear me now? Better?
Nope, not really. But go ahead. You might got a new phone or something over there. You still learning that phone.
Right there. I don't know what it's doing. Yeah, I'll be right there. All right, so we're talking about the Republicans winning, the Democrats won, lost, winning, who feelings are hurt, who lied, who cheated, who stole,
All that.
who just upset because they didn't win.
All that.
It really gave a semblance last night that the people in America are not as, ignorant, stupid, and not paying attention. Like the narrative is so often projected on just the common Jane and Joes, right? It really looked like people voted their conscience and didn't vote down party lines, because it was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Different ones that you thought would win lost, and different ones that you thought would lose won, and it was just all over the place. So, hopefully the American people are paying more attention through all of this, and if nothing else, we're understanding collectively that the people are more powerful than the people who you elect to represent your interests, or think that they're in power.
Mm-hmm.
And this is your government. This is your republic, and it's up to you to stay involved and keep behind those that you elect to do your bidding, and ensure that your collective desires and wishes and needs, as common everyday ones, are fulfilled through those that you elect to represent your interests.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can keep that going, it's not so much of anything about Republican, Democrat. You know, who's this, who's that. We know as it goes on all the way, it starts turning into something sideways and crazy. You know,
I
are
gotta
they
ask you this
even
question.
for?
I gotta
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask you this question, brother. How in the world did Herschel get as many votes as he has gotten to potentially have a runoff? Herschel.
Herschel running in the state of Georgia, right?
Yes.
The state of Georgia used to be a penal colony for King George, right? They sent the criminally insane, the literally insane, and the criminally insane over to Georgia. So many of those and that is proven. You can come to Georgia and visit the archives and read it yourself. It's documented. So you are dealing with many descendants of insane criminals. And you know, some things that are in your system and in your DNA, they just are there. So, you know, you need help. And Georgia's not known for giving a lot of resources to mental health. So we shouldn't be shocked that Herschel got that many votes. And the still crazy, insane, desirous of being a penal colony to dead King George, Georgia.
Wow. Badger, you wanted to say something, brother?
You know, one of the things that I was looking at on a lot of people's opinions of voting and stuff boiled down to money or abortion. Some people felt like they were having to pick between the lesser of two evils. However, it seems to be pretty consistent that folks are worried about Democrats running things because, you know, they're talking about taxing, you know, the wealthy and increasing healthcare access and things of that nature. And a majority of folks are worried that the moment that happens, us poor people are going to have to deal with even more inflation than we already are. Um, so if the Democrats can't do something in a very simplified explanation of how certain things work, as far as increasing certain things to the general public to help educate what their goal is, it's going to be really hard for America to get any better. Because every time they increase taxes, inflation goes up. So there's too much evidence that shows that if Democrats are running things, corporations increase cost.
And what happens when Republicans run things?
If it goes up, it's less. It's way less than when Democrats are running things,
So
which
it's
is the irony.
So which one are you in favor of running things, Democrats or Republicans? From your seat, who are you in favor of running?
Well, it depends on the issue. There are some Republicans that have a decent idea of what to do, and then there are Democrats that also, and then there's some that are like either in the Green Party or another party that has a good idea too.
Okay.
I don't care who's in what party. What I care about is what is their solution.
No. As the way this whole thing is structured right now, the whole thing is put together right now. I'm asking you from where you are sitting, from your seat. We're not talking about depend on this or depend on that. We're not putting all that on the table. We're not talking about all that. I'm asking you from your seat, from where you're sitting, from your current situation that you're in right now. Who are you in favor of running, the Democrats or the Republicans?
Just them two?
That's all. That's all it is. Yeah, just those two. Just simplify. Yes, we're not trying to complicate this question. We keeping it very simple. And I want to know who are you in favor of, Democrats or from your seat, from where you're sitting, your current situation. Who are you in favor of running this whole society, Democrats or Republicans? We're not complicating it. We're not adding all the other little trinkets in there. Just answer that particular question.
I'm 50-50.
See, you just ain't gonna answer the question. Okay, let me go to
No,
Rico.
you asked me what's on my mind and how I like my perspective, right?
Badger, the reality of the situation, it can't be 50-50 because the 50-50 situation, you have both of them running it, and that's not what's gonna happen. Either one or the other's gonna run it. I'm asking you which one are you in favor of running it? Hold on. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, once again, like I said, it's the discussion sooner or later have to change to what needs to happen, what type of needs to happen in society to get people to start looking at things from a bigger picture. Now, you got, one thing about it, people going to have their opinions and their feelings about things, and it's hard for you to change it.
Mm-hmm.
People going to believe what they believe about abortion. Some people going to believe what they believe about race. You got a lot of people in Alabama right now.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Rico. Okay, hold on.
Daughters and daughters' sons, Confederate, sons and daughters of the Confederacy.
Mm-hmm.
Those people that want that old antebellum South.
Mm-hmm.
Those that went against construction. I mean, you still have those people. You have those people that believe what they believe about gay marriage and homosexuality. It's not always about money. It's about several different issues, but I think when you finally get society to open up and start realizing that we have to be more consistent about practicing what we preach. If we really believe in democracy, then we wouldn't vote like we believe in democracy with an asterisk.
Yeah. Now let me ask you.
But people vote. Go ahead.
Let me ask you that same question. In your current situation, where you are right now, Rico's life right now, you have to pick one running the system, Democrats or Republicans. Which one are you favoring right now in your current situation in Rico's world?
Well, based off of man. I mean, I'm going along with Badger on that, man. I mean, really and truly, so many of them have so many different talking points and points of view. I mean, I can put it to you this way. Just like with how people sit back and they praise Kanye as a genius. You know what I'm saying? Because he says some stuff that makes sense, and then he comes right back and says and does other things to let you know he thinks just like these narcissistic corporations. So is he just talking for favor? Is he talking to have public favor? That is a big thing. Positive points in the public opinion.
Okay, but Rico, you got to pick one.
So
you got to pick one.
So
Democrat or Republican.
I can't pick one because I'm gonna go with Candace Owens. Candace Owens says things that makes a lot of sense when it comes to want to have black men as the head of the household. But then she comes back and says some goofy stuff, and it's the same things with all these politicians. There's some things that I believe in with the Democratic Party, but some of that liberal stuff, they going a little bit too far. I'm a conservative black man, man. There's some things in the conservative party that they stand for, they going a little bit too far. So I have to try to find that balance within both. You know what I'm saying? I'll never dedicate myself to just say I'm going to be loyally supportive of one party or not. Now, if I had to go with the lesser of two evils, I'll go with the Democrats.
Okay. See, that's all I want.
I go with them because they, in a certain way, even though they do have a lot of corporate sponsorship and lobbyists, they're not as greedy as I'm gonna say blatant with raping the economy as the Republicans. And the reason why I say that, I go back to how Clinton had us had the books in the surplus. He had us above. America was doing good. If you are so much about America and economy and finances, then everybody should still give Clinton his credit. And it should be a point made of how we went straight into the hole once George Bush and his buddies came and started pillaging everything that they had built up. And I can remember ever since I was young, that was part of the big thing, was balancing the budget. They put that in the news, put that in our head, balance the budget, talking for it. When we go on campaign, balance the budget. I'm going to balance the budget. Clinton balanced the budget and then put us in a surplus, and then Bush came back and unbalanced it and pillaged it. You know what I'm saying? And people don't pay attention to that. So now if I had to pick and choose, I would choose the lesser of two evils based off of that factor and the stance on abortion. I do think abortion, that's a woman's right. So Yeah, except I would go with the lesser of two evils, like normal.
Good deal. Good deal. And see, and that's what I wanted because you can't, both of them can't run at the same time. You know, they're not gonna coexist. You know, it's gonna be all kind of mess, all kind of chaos. And I just wanted to announce it to find out which one would you go with. Let me go to as a matter of fact,
the thing about that is, Raheem, is that you might have a Republican that runs on the exact same thing that we believe in. And if I had to vote Republican, then would that make me say, well, I want the Republicans in or that Republican?
No, well, you at that particular time you'll say that Republican, but and that's why I was asking you at this particular time right now with where you're sitting right now, and that's why I put it in that way with where you're sitting right now. And so I wanted you to base that on where you are and where you're sitting right now, and let that be your answer. Let me go to Mr. Hicks. I had not touched Mr. Hicks this morning. I realized he was back. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Good family. Good morning.
Hey, good to have you. Good to have you, sir. What do you think about how everything played itself out last night?
They're still counting. It's sort of what I expected. You know, country's divided. You know, even in terms of I'm gonna answer that question you asked the last guy about if I had to vote in my particular situation now, who would I vote for?
Yes.
It would definitely be the conservatives. I'd vote against, not even voting for them. I'd vote against LGBTQ and the whole woman-man thing and all that stuff, all that radical left-wing stuff. I'd vote against that, against whoever it was. I guess that'd be less of an evil for me.
How would you vote for the issue of abortion?
Of course, I don't believe in abortion. That's murder. I don't believe in it at all.
Wow.
You know, I had kids. I had children come along. I was having 5 girls. I had girls coming along pregnant. It was never option. Never option for me. And that's based off my faith, my religion, my beliefs.
What about now? Let me ask you this question, and you have the right to feel the way you want to feel. I'm not gonna never question how you feel because it's your feelings. But what about a situation where there's rape or incest or something like that? Would that be a situation where you would lessen up your stance a little bit and say it's okay because of incest or rape or something like that, or should that person still have to have that baby?
It's not complicated for me. I don't believe in abortion.
Okay.
I don't believe in offering children to Moloch.
Okay.
It's a blood sacrifice.
Wow.
It's a national blood sacrifice.
Wow. Okay. That's the way you feel, brother. You know, I can't say that I agree with that, man, but that's the way you feel.
It's not feeling. I don't feel that way. I've researched and I think that way.
Okay.
I come to the conclusion, not for my emotions, not feelings.
Okay. So if for my clarity, to make sure I'm clear on what you're saying, for my clarity, if a young lady is raped, physically raped, and she become pregnant as an act of that rape or her being raped, abortion still is not acceptable. She still should not, because that's murder and you killing that child. So she should not be able to have an abortion if she's raped. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
That's the technicality that this whole issue rests on, with those two issues there. It's incest of a rape. And they base the whole argument. It's not a valid argument to me. I think in those situations, it's a different situation. It's definitely different. But I was reading an article the other day where I saw Michael Jordan's father is coming out that he molested his daughter for most of her life, and she wrote a book about him, and about halfway through that book now. But I think these things have been part of not just our culture. I mean, part of the cultures, that incest thing, a rape. We come from a history of it. They raped us. They raped the men too. You know, this homosexual thing that got caught up inside of. I believe, this is the belief. Now, I believe it came from our days of slavery. Okay. When those same people that was raping the women was raping men too.
Okay, yeah, and that's true. That's true. I'm not gonna dispute that at all. But my question is, I'm just simply asking, if a young lady is raped, and I don't want to complicate it. If a young lady is raped, I know your stance on abortion. I know how you feel about abortion. They're your feelings. You're right. You have the right, brother, to feel the way you want to feel. I can't question or counter or whatever, how you feel. I can't do that. Or your stance, or not even your stance on. I say it that way. I think that's a better way to say it. Your stance. So you have your stance on it, and that's how you stand on it. But my question is this: if a young lady is raped, and I just want a simple yes or no answer. If a young lady is raped, because she's raped, physically raped, assaulted, and she become pregnant throughout the act of that intercourse that they have, should she be able to have an abortion?
Should she be able to? I mean, should it be legal?
Yes.
Should she have a legal right to abortion?
Yes. Should she be able to go in there and say, she was raped, tell them what the situation and circumstances is, she want to have an abortion? Should she be able to have an abortion? Your hesitation, brother, is leading me towards your answer. Your hesitation is really leading me towards your answer.
Well, it's not a simple answer for that issue.
Okay.
About
let me do this.
Those kind of things.
Let me do this. Don't go nowhere, brother. Stay right there. Stay right there, because I want to circle around. I want to be fair to everybody. I don't want.
Can I say something?
Yeah, who want to say something?
Yes, sir.
Somebody.
Yeah, this is Ibrahim.
Yes, sir.
I like to reflect what Badger was saying and what Rico said.
Mm-hmm.
Rico was correct. A lot of people look at the old Republican Party, 1960,
mm-hmm.
right? Up until then, they were monetarists. They believed in all that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
About balancing the budget and everything. But after the Reagan administration, well, Nixon was the last Republican that attempted to have an equal economy. That was it. Reagan took the economy, and he actually put us in a deep deficit. But everybody give him credit for this deficit because he got the Russians to back down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gorbachev. Okay, now after that, then you came Bush Senior. He caused the war. He didn't pull the come out debt like he was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
After Reagan, he caused the war and he did that. Then after that, Clinton balanced the budget, right? So the Democrats ever since then has been balancing the budget, and Republicans have been through a catastrophe. Look at Bush Jr., right? He had that war. That war, and that put us and still got us in debt. Trump put the troops out, but they blaming Bush for continuing pulling the troops out. So I mean, now you're blaming our current president for still pulling the troops out of Afghanistan, which it should have been done over 10 years ago. It should have never happened. And so thing with Iraq, we still having problems from that, right? But so now getting back to the moral issue, I'm to the right of something, and I tell people this all the time, and I understand what Mr. Hicks saying because we raised up, conservatively, and I was black. I was raised in the Bible Belt conservative South, right? So I'm still to the right of something. Now that doesn't mean, and I hate the fact that I got to deal with the contentions of a extreme liberal issue like abortion by any means necessary anytime somebody feels like it. Bam, I'm against that. But I do have compassion for people, human that women go through, and that's their body. But at the same time, some of it is part of the state and the community to help make that decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to be hampered from trying to help people make an alternative decision. So that put me right at center, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I hate that I had to vote Democrat in a lot of things, you know what I mean? Because of the issue of abortion. But the issue of economy, I understand the issue of economy. Better looks like better than a lot of people do. But also, I have flaws too.
Mr. Abraham, let me ask you this question. Mr. Abraham, let me ask you this question right here, and I want to hear your whole heart when you answer this question, brother. If a young lady is physically assaulted, raped, and in the course of that, say let's just paint a terrible picture. She's raped, gang raped, and she's gang raped by 3, 4, 5 guys, whatever it is. And in the course of that, she becomes pregnant. Now she's been gang raped by a lot of people. She didn't want this. She didn't ask for this. And certainly this child is not conceived in a loving situation. It's a very violent situation in which this child is conceived up under. Should she be able to? Should she, under what you're saying with the abortion situation, should she have to carry that child, knowing what she's going through and the torture that she have to go through for 9 months? Carrying a child for 9 months of somebody that violated her, and every time that child kick or move or whatever, it's a memory of what happened to her. And then should she have to go through the whole process? And should she be forced in a situation because of the laws that they're saying right now, abortion and is murder? Should she have to go through that whole process and have that child? And at that particular time, what are we to do with the child? you know, I mean,
I think she.
Go ahead.
I think she should have the right to make a decision along with supervision if she's underage or people looking out for her benefit. You know, appointed with court. You know, to go with juvenile, a court appointed. But I think that it should be her ultimate decision.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's okay. I can agree with that.
That's all I can say about that.
Okay. Good deal. Cassandra, Lord Cassandra, talk to me, sis.
Well, this, for those that believe that women, girls should have babies, when a man takes you, forcibly puts his penis in your vagina, violently taking what is yours, what belongs to you, and then impregnates you, and you're dealing with all the trauma just by itself, just the mental trauma of being raped. If anybody feels like that, you have a right to make a decision for that woman, whether she should carry that child or not. And I question who you are. Who are you to tell a woman, a girl that has been violently violated by her father, her brother, her uncle, a stranger, that she should just be able to, oh, you need to carry that baby because that's a lot. Man, let me tell you, boy, oh boy, heck to the no. That should be that woman's choice and no one else's. That girl's choice and no one else. No government, nobody should tell her what to do with her body at that time. I'm that girl. I wish somebody would tell me that that's okay.
Wow.
What is wrong with you? I was violently raped. What do I look like letting that baby? I don't have a problem. The baby is going to go back to Jesus because that's what happens. We know that. But for you to think that I need to have that child in my body against my will, against my choice, my decision, God even gives me free will. And who are you? I'm just saying.
Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Kat, what's on your heart? How do you feel about this? What's on your heart, sir? That's the only way I could ask the question. What's on your heart?
Well, that's exact. I think politics is one's personal choice, and I think I'm really more leaning towards. I think people need to keep their politics and personal choice private to themselves. I mean, I'm a little thrown back on the question that you asked. That if you would have asked me what I would thought about the individuals and their stand on whether they would accept the Republicans or the Democrats, I just would have said, shoot, would you want to be Trump? You want Trump or Biden? Why we got to keep making it look like it's principles of agendas politically that you may agree? Who's over the Republicans? Let's say, hey, would you stand with Donald Trump or would you stand with Biden? Bump the what you think, because these are the people over it. This is the people that's pushing the agenda. So if you say, well, I stand with Trump, okay, that's it. That's it. Or I stand with Biden, okay, that's it. And I think when we get to the reason why I stand with this point and I like this principle, the bottom line is who's over the parties. So I think when we open up our mouths and we tell people with our political stance, I think we keep our mouths shut. Because that's personal. That's very personal. Who I vote for. When I see the controversy, the emotion that you brought out, my sister, that's real. When people open up their mouth and give their political view or opinion, you don't know how you offend people. Politics have done more to divide people than unite. Religion has done more to divide people than unite. Why speak on issues that keep us divided? Just shut up. Say, brother, I like to keep my political opinion to myself if that's okay. Go. Then we can't formulate no opinion about you. We need to just keep our personal opinion on politics, on issues that still is controversial. Hey yourself. That's when we spare anybody's feelings, and we don't look at each other with a twisted eye. Is that what you believe? You with Donald Trump. I didn't know you were. Oh, that's what you. Oh, you with Biden. Well, I'm not with. But that's what's over on. I don't care what the issues is, what the platform is. Donald Trump is the head, and black people mind in the streets. The young boys and the people in the streets. Donald is the head of the Republican Party. I don't care how you cut it. They don't know nothing about being a conservative. They don't know nothing about the issues. All they see is Donald Trump with his red. That's all they see. They see Biden in his blue. That's all they see. Y'all can sit there and articulate because y'all brilliant. Y'all know politics. We can go about this. Y'all very brilliant. But the average Joe in the street, they don't know nothing about politics. They know who feed them, who don't feed them. They know who love them, who don't love them. They know who hate them, who don't hate them. That's all they know. So we're mature, but we're not talking to the mature people. We're talking about how is that related to the young brothers and sisters in the street. That's why they didn't vote. Because they're ignorant, they don't know. I think your politics should be quiet. Keep it to yourself so we don't formulate no opinion about you. Because now I formulate some opinions. I said, wow. But if you kept your mouth shut, yay. But I ain't going to tell you what I formulated. I'm not going to tell you I'm pro-con. I'm going to keep my politics to myself because it divides. That's what's on my heart, Raheem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 508-924.
Democracy is messy. That's what we need.
508-50. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Let me go to Navy. Navy, good morning. Navy, I'm asking a question. I asked a question earlier. I don't know if you was actually listening about the abortion situation. If you were listening, tell me how you feel about that. If not, I can tell you exactly what it was.
Well, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
No,
how you
I
doing?
didn't really get it. I'm multitasking this morning. I got like bits and pieces, but not the whole thing.
Well, I was asking a question about abortion. If a young lady was raped, and I painted a picture of being gang raped by a few people, 3, 4, 5 people, whatever, and in the course of that, she becomes impregnated. In that, with the way it stands, the way it's being fought right now is abortion is illegal. Should she, in that situation, have to carry that baby for 9 months? Every time that baby moves, shake, kick, or whatever, it's a reminder of how that baby got there. Should she have to carry that baby to term and have that baby, or should she have the right, if she so decide to do so, to have an abortion?
Absolutely not. She shouldn't be forced to carry a child. And I understand the state and the system, which is stupid to me anyway. But again, that's my personal feelings on it. But no, because then that creates, I don't think that people, whenever we have these people in the office that are coming up with these things like this, like they don't think about the long-term picture. Because let's bring it to our front door. How many of our aunties and grandmas are really our mothers and sisters, but we don't know about it? And they treat these kids differently because of that. So why would we want to continue on like that generation? Like, let's just be honest about it. It's plenty of our grandmas that are raising their grandchildren as their children because the exact same thing happened in their family. Now, thank goodness I have my own sexual trauma, but thank goodness it didn't result in that. Because as much as I love kids, I desire to have children one day, but I would be so broken even more if that's how I had to associate my baby with one of the most traumatic experiences in my life. And we don't even think about neurologically what happens to a woman's body that is passed on to the child. Whenever we're talking about trauma, like trauma doesn't start outside of the womb. Trauma starts inside of the womb.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And know enough about that to understand that when we have these kids, that when you look at the history of pregnancy, that's one of the things that I for my patients whenever they come into my office is, how was your pregnancy? Whenever you have this kid that's unruly, that doesn't know how to regulate their emotions, that's all over the place, tell me how your pregnancy was. Well, I had this, that, and the other going on. We don't even think about that. We're just thinking about, and most of the time people are only pro-life until after the baby gets here. Because once the baby gets here and it has all these other issues and you have these all these other issues, the first thing they're gonna say to you, well, you shouldn't have had that kid. That's not my problem. I shouldn't have to pay for you and your kid. My taxes shouldn't have to go for you and the services that you need. So you only care about the kid until it gets here. But what about everything else that comes with it? And we don't look at the bigger picture of it. It's like, no, heck no. A woman shouldn't have to go through that, and nor should a child.
Wow. And what I'm doing right now, I want to speak to the ladies because I want to hear their heart on this situation. So let me go right now. We actually have Monique with us as well. Good morning, Monique. How are you doing this morning? Monique, you there?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well, young lady. Good to have you with us. What's on your heart about this whole scenario?
I believe that it should be up to that woman or teenager or whatever. It should be up to her to make the decision on whether or not she wants to keep that child. Mm-hmm. Because to be forced to keep a child that you don't want because of how it was conceived, I think is crazy. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand why men are making this decision. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
For women.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And that's why I wanted to hear the lady's standpoint. Right now, let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart about this whole situation, man? What do you think should happen? Badger, coming to you next.
I agree, but I think that there should be stipulations, because with everything that has a positive pro to it, there's a con to it. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, people can abuse something that had a good purpose, like floozies and women that do like to go and just, have abortions because she don't care about getting pregnant. She's just doing it because she's living her life. Maybe she was cheating, and didn't want to get caught up in, or maybe she just got mad at the husband because she thought he was cheating, and she made a rash decision that she wasn't going to have no baby by no man that's out here cheating. And then all of a sudden she get rid of this baby. She find out 2 years later, this child that she really wanted at first, but she got rid of out of emotion, should have been here, but she killed her baby because she thought and got in her emotions that this man was cheating and seeing another woman. Because that happens too. See, everybody that has an abortion, some of these women, they regret it. They are against it. But at the same time, they do understand that there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. Mm-hmm. So that does need to be an option for the, we know that women go through postpartum depression, and that might not even have to be because they went through a pregnancy that was conceived from a rape. They go through just from the stress of the body changes and the mental changes that go on within them. So now imagine they got to have a baby by somebody that brutally raped them, and then that baby come out looking like that man spit them out. Mm. Identical. Don't even look like he came from the mama. Look like the man had him out his bush. Mm. And she got to look at this baby every day. Yeah. She might not remember what he looked like, but now she do. And every time she sit back and think, well, I got a child, a little child, she got to look at this. Oh, man, I can't even imagine that. I'm a man. I can't imagine what a woman would be going through if she had to look at the face of her rapist and her child.
Every day.
And then maybe said something deep. God, I was gonna go there myself, man. She always do it. They make a big deal to try to say that we're gonna guarantee that this baby or this fetus comes into this world. But then as it comes into the world, it might get put in the oven.
Mm.
It might
Wow.
not go to school.
Mm-hmm.
It might get bullied and abused at home by the mama or the daddy. It might not even have an opportunity to have a positive father in his life and do all kind of twists and turns like my son got to. See, ain't nobody guaranteed his rights to have his father in his life, and they make it so hard that to happen. So, I mean, you know, what you're going to do after the baby gets here. Let's start moving on that, too. Then maybe some of these women that's having abortions will feel a little bit more comfortable with going ahead and having that child.
Mm.
Because she
Wow.
knows she got some other type of benefit to fall back on, like welfare.
Mm-hmm.
She got that type of benefit to fall back on. Why can't she have benefit? Why can't those children really have support to protect them from that mother that may just be out there having babies and not controlling how she performs?
Mm-hmm.
And she want a bunch of kids, but she don't know how to raise them.
And see what's not
So
being
I mean,
realized.
it's a lot of
What's not being realized is the
levels
weight.
to that, man. I mean, you know, like I said, it's a time and place for everything under the sun. It is a time to die.
But see, my
You know
thing
what
is
I'm
this
saying?
right
And
here, Rico.
sometimes, you know, but I mean, if a woman's life might be in danger for having this child.
Rico, let me tell you this. A
If it's
lot of times,
not,
what it is, a lot of times people don't realize or understand the mental weight that carries on that. And y'all spoke a little bit on it, but there's a mental weight that the woman have to carry to have to go through that whole situation, and then to have to look upon that child, and
hey,
see the, like you said, see
if
the
a man
abuser.
if a man can't understand it, ask a man to imagine being married to a woman and she having a baby by another man, and you got to look at that baby and see that other man.
Mm. Wow.
Now that woman got to feel even worse because of her process of going through the pregnancy was even worse than what happened. He didn't even have to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
She got to relive it. She actually got the memories of this experience.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she was drugged. Maybe she don't know who it is. Maybe it was a gang of people.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
took advantage of her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the baby just coming out looking like some random man.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I mean, you know, that's a lot to deal with, man. I mean, and then on top of it, you know, it's, you know, not just that end of it, but it can be a high risk pregnancy. A woman's life might be in danger.
Yep, exactly. Hold right there, Rico. Let me go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh man, this topic is a whole another level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it, this is one of many issues that are, man, to take the right of freedom of will or freedom of choice from another human being is, I mean, what? Why is someone trying to be God? You know, if our choices are things that we are going to have to deal with when it's our time, then our choices are ours. Or at least that's the way I was always led to believe it. I mean, correct me if I'm
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
Yeah.
So, why is there a law that has been made from a personal belief? Because not everyone in America believes that way.
Mm-hmm.
But most people can agree that there are people that abuse it, just like any other thing. There are people out there that abuse healthcare systems, that abuse Medicaid, welfare, and so on and so on. You know, should there be something that makes it a little stricter, maybe? Sure. However, it still boils down to what are freedom of choice. And then there are people that are going to say, you know, well, if we do it for that, then why don't we do it for, you know, the laws against murder and hanging and everything else? Those, I suppose a person could have a valid point with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yet, a person has the choice to commit those, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
A person has the choice to steal or murder or hang somebody or whatever that is. Why can't women have the freedom of choice?
Mm-hmm.
Their bodies were created by who? Who were they? Who created the body? Who do we belong? Like who do we serve? So, in my eyes, it's a freedom of choice thing. If every law in America is a freedom of choice to commit those crimes or not to commit those crimes, why can't women have that too?
Wow. Wow. Let me go back to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, what's on your heart, sir?
Oh, yes, sir. I guess what's on my heart? I guess I'm sort of dealing with a thing. If you ask someone a personal question or a political question, and they answer the question, I think that forum would have the opportunity that in order to speak your mind and speak freely, there's a possibility you might offend someone. That's a feeling thing. I've learned in my life, and it took me a long time to get that, to not to deal with often my feelings and my emotions. They're not always clear to me. But I have had some firm principles inside my life that when the winds and the turbulence of life come at me, that I got a principle. And that principle with me is what the God say. I think that it's got to be a hard situation. My sister was raped in the church while I was in Vietnam by a preacher. And when I got locked up, I ended up in the county jail in the cell with him.
Wow.
I was beat up and banged up, but that didn't stop me from doing my work. But that was emotional. He died later from cancer, terrible kind of death. I guess what I'm saying is this here. In order to speak freely, there's a possibility that you may offend. And then in knowing that you offend someone, you can just maybe go back and adjust what you're saying to more clearly say it. Because it's not my intention to be offensive, but it's my intention to be honest.
Absolutely.
Honest in my stand and not let it be shaped by any majority or any otherbody's opinion or how they want to see me. It don't matter to me. I mean, I'm not saying an empty word. When I was 6 and 7 years old, I had to stand on the corner of my mother with tamarines and guitars around, with all the kids in the neighborhood walk by pointing and jugging at me about my clothes and everything. But something snapped into me at a young age. I didn't care what people think. People couldn't embarrass me anymore, and they still can't. But we're at a real critical time in the history of the world now with these issues at play. In Germany, they started with first just killing people that was deformed. Then they went on to killing homosexuals. Then they went on, and the thing that the euthanasia. Somebody want to die. Should somebody have a right to die by the help of doctors and lawyers, doctors and stuff? I mean, so I know we grapple with a difficult question, and I appreciate you for even having the gumption to bring these issues up. But it forces people to hear their words out loud. I hear my words out loud, I hear other people's words out loud, and I do some adjustment of my thinking because I'm influenced by other people when I look openly and try to look at it from their perspective. I think that's what the issue we have here now with the Democrats, the Republicans, conservatives, libertarians. But the important issues at stake I see is what is the definition of life? What is the definition of a woman? What is the definition of man? And these are the things that are being eroded. What is our foundation on any kind of Judeo-Christian basis? Is it about God? And if you leave off this God basis, where we all have an agreement, you meet almost anyone, Muslim or Christian, Buddhist, anyone, you got certain things you believe in. You don't believe in killing, you don't believe in stealing, you don't believe in lying, ban sport, a false witness. But when that foundation is taken away from us, what are we going to rest on? Neo-politics, left-wing ideology. So I think the core is, for me, is that core. I think there are other things you do. I was reading a thing where Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin's oldest son is by her father. And he's alive now. He's alive, he got a wife, he got kids, he got grandkids. I think there are other things to do in these kind of situations other than just throwing our life away.
Okay.
Some people out here want babies.
Okay. I understand, but my thing is, and again, I don't give anybody their opinion because they certainly have their own. So I'm not gonna try to curb your opinion or your thought process because that belongs to you. But my thing is the way I see it is I there's a real traumatic situation that will have to. I'm not a woman. I can't speak like I'm a woman, but I think there have to be a real traumatic situation that have to go along with her having to carry that baby for 9 months, knowing how the baby got there and knowing all the weight and the burdens that is to come and that she's actually going through and having to be forced to carry a child that was not conceived out of a loving situation. That's a lot. To me, that's a lot. Captain, what's on your heart? Ibrahim, coming to you next.
Let me say this, because I want to clarify. I'm not. There's two things that's very important. Donald Elijah Muhammad teaches us: tell the truth regardless to whom or what.
That's
but
right.
If the truth breaks the peace, be silent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it again. Tell the truth regardless to whom or what. But if the truth breaks the peace, be silent, for we love peace.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're talking politics, and we giving our personal opinion, which is maybe the truth in our eyes, but if our opinion breaks the peace, Brother Raheem can ask the question, Brother Captain, did you and your wife, I want to ask you, did y'all have sex last night? I can answer it and say, well, or I can say, you know what, brother, that's none of your business.
Mm-hmm.
I have the choice to answer the question or not answer the question.
Yes.
So all questions that Brother Raheem answers, that don't mean can't you pass the mic? You know what, Brother Raheem? I'd rather not comment on that. You can do that. Ain't nobody gonna be mad. Or you can sit there and say, I want to answer it. But the point I was making, this is the point. It had nothing to do with your ability to have the right to answer the question. But we know that politics does not solve nothing. Show me in history where politics, which is so controversial, has everybody on the same page. Show me where religion, which is controversial, has everybody on the same page. So why speak into controversy that we're going to leave off this line, some more in disagreement than agreement, because that's politics. But if politics begin to bring pain because of personal opinion of what I have on my view on this political subject, then I can see, you know what, it's very controversial. Let me keep my opinion to myself. Mm-hmm. That's just intelligent. And not saying you ain't got the right to answer. I want to make it clear. All I'm saying, sometimes, family, pass the mic. Nobody gonna get mad at you. Because if whatever you want to say is going to offend people, and you know it, yeah, I would choose to be quiet. If I say this, I'm going to offend some people. I got to say it anyway because it's the truth. No, you know what? Thank you, Brother Ryan. I choose, to keep my opinion to myself. What Ryan gonna do? Twist up? No, brother. Oh, sister. Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. And let's keep it moving. Mm-hmm. That's my position. It's not a position I'm throwing rocks at no individual. I'm dealing with intelligent people who know more about politics than me. I would never debate. This is not a debate show. Nor would I ever get into no argument about politics. That's stupid in my eyesight. Mm-hmm. Your opinion is your opinion. I keep my opinion to myself. So that way, you can't put Captain Dennis in the category. If you're going to put me in a category, you're going to put me in a category based upon all that you know without seeing it. You already got a mindset about me, which is cool. Because I give you that. But there's some things I'm not going to give you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it becomes that particular thing where you stand on that issue with abortion, but I don't want to hear your opinion. I'm going to tell you, it's none of your business. Mm-hmm. When you go to that voting booth, are you in a private booth or everybody can see how you vote? Talk to me.
Private.
Can everybody see how you vote? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, because it's private.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
I don't mean to interrupt, but I got a serious question to ask real quick.
Hold
take
on.
my
Hold
voice
hold on.
to
Hold on.
be. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Let me say. Forgive me. I'm not. I'm very compassionate. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend nobody. There's no slow down. There's no dig or no individual. This is my opinion. You can take it or let it alone. It's just Captain D's opinion. It don't mean it's the right opinion, but it's mine.
Exactly. Exactly. Let me go. Hold on, Batch. I'm coming back to you. Hold on for a second. I told Ibrahim I was coming to him next. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I just heard a treatise that that's very political. Was just said. The way Captain just said that's very political. We forget that, and also one thing that Elijah Muhammad said that a lot of that was tried to win the minds and hearts of black people and influence them. Even the type of Islam that was being taught. It didn't have to necessarily be true, but it was winning the hearts and minds. And influencing people of power, not money. If you influence, and we've seen during the Trump thing, you have enough people that you can influence to do your bidding, right? That's it. But this is not a fascist, individual programs or organizations. They don't have their democracy, or a theocracy in itself is not a democratic state. You have a lot of different opinions, and those opinions forge understand the will and culture of the people. You know, I mean, it's just that easy it's not hard. It's hard to understand, but it's easy that all these different opinions are what the core of the people are saying right now at different levels and different angst, right? And the people and the squeaky wheel get the grease, the people that's holler loud sometimes are not the majority, but they the ones that influence people and get the ball rolling and get the laws passed and conquer. And I remember a statement was made by a person in Germany that he said that when they came for the Jews, nobody spoke up for them. When it came to the communists, nobody spoke for the infernal, nobody spoke for them. And he said, then when they come for me, who will speak for me? That's the question to ask, right? And these are very valid questions because it cuts into our role and how we are looked upon and how we're dealt with in America. That's why I'll be in contention with another brother there. I can't think of his name, but Leonard. I've been in contention with Leonard a lot of times because I'm looking at the whole of the community at large. And one of my sisters sent me a video. I thought it was my daughter. She sent me a video of the Uncle Tom, and these were these conservative, people talking about conservative black people, or call themselves black conservative. They're conservative people. They're not conservative black, but they're black conservative people. Anyway, they are talking about what their role is and how they disdain. But when I hear them, I hear the I, the me, the I did this, I did that, and we fail to remember that they're standing on the shoulders of people that made this possible for them, and denying anybody else any type of potential that they could master this and conquer this, and do well also. That's how it starts. That's how it is. No one person that can do this, right? So in a government, and let's think of ourselves, if we had our own government, because I think in the form of a new nation, we don't have no justice among ourselves. We don't have any peace among ourselves. All we try to initiate or try to reform what's in front of us, whether it's right or wrong. You know what I mean? Because this is what we hold on to. This is our level of comfort. We don't have to be uncomfortable. We can just sit back and do nothing, which is suicide. But at this time, it is the right thing to do. I mean, I got my house, I got this, I'm living like this, I'm living like that, I'm doing what I want to do. I call the shots, right? You know what I mean? This way.
Good deal. Good deal.
Five. Okay, so that's pretty much all I'm gonna say.
Okay, good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input. Let me go to Monique. Monique, what's on your heart, sis?
Just listening right now. Did you have a question or?
No, I just about this whole stance that we're taking based on the abortion situation. Want to know that you have anything else on your heart? If not, we're going to change the topic anyway. But let me go to our Navy, and then we're going to circle back around, and I'm going to change the topic. So Navy, what's on your heart? Don't go nowhere, Monique. Stay with us if you can. Navy, what's on your heart?
Nothing right now. I kind of think I pretty much summed mine up whenever I had my opportunity to speak earlier, but I would encourage people, not just for the sake of this conversation, but just as a whole, with understanding like what trauma really does to the body, and especially whenever we have our ladies that are carrying these babies. Like I said, I double down on what I said. Trauma doesn't start outside of the womb; it starts inside the womb. And just from a if we wanted to use science from a scientific standpoint, there's plenty of journals and articles that are out there that now over the last 7 to 10 years that has dedicated itself to understanding trauma and how the body releases cortisol, which is our stress hormone, and how that affects, a woman's pregnancy. So I just highly encourage people to do their research, but that's about all that I have on that topic.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, y'all know this is Way Out Wednesday, so we pretty much jump all over the place. We don't have a particular topic, so we have different things that we talk about. So I want to ask this question right here. Wow, Captain, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Explain to me as if I don't know anything about this thing, what it is, how it looks, and what it all encompasses.
About what thing?
I'm gonna throw it. I'm trying to figure out how I want to verbalize it. Everybody always talk. People always. I'm an alien from outer space, and I come to you, and I say everybody is always talking about this thing called equality. What is it? What is equality? How would you explain that to me?
Well, I would say equality is having the ability to be equal among those on this planet who are free. To be equal. Equality is to have the right to be treated equally with anyone, regardless to class, creed, color, to be treated equal. And it should be applied equally.
My question is gonna come. My question is gonna come like from that alien's perspective. So if I throw some out there, I'm talking to you from the alien perspective. But so I'm gonna throw. Aren't all you all free already? So I don't understand. All y'all are free already. So
man, but now we go to cartoons. Okay, all right. I mean, I hear you, right?
Come on.
I try to stay in the realm of reality. For real, I can't explain that has no reality. I try my best, but I'm not good at that. I mean, I would rather you pass the mic to somebody else. I can't explain that. I really, maybe go to somebody else. If I have to talk to an alien, and I'm sorry, my mind don't process like that. This is one of those moments. I'm gonna pass the mic to my man Ibrahim.
There you go. Give
it to him.
Let me. As a matter of fact, I will do that. Ibrahim, let me see. Make sure I have his, because I'll be mute this mic sometimes. He was talking in the background. Ibrahim, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ibrahim, I am an alien, and I'm asking you this question. What is? I don't understand nothing. What it is? I don't have any idea or grasp on it at all. What is equality?
I always say, speak to me like I'm a 2-year-old, right? I know nothing.
Exactly.
That's a good question, because in nature there's nothing equal. There's no equality amongst us physically, but however, an equality is a principle, like as our forefather was saying. Different Black civil rights leaders, and ever since before slavery, was saying is that we want the chance to have the same footing. Right? Don't knock me off the stoop before I get a chance to do something. If I want to reach for an apple tree, right? Reaching up for an apple, and I'm on a stoop, and you're gonna knock me off the stoop so you can get the apple, then that's denying me the equal chance, right? We should all have whatever chance to do things. In this society right now, we do have chances. You know what I mean? But we keep getting knocked off that stoop for a lot of reasons. Sometimes we knock ourselves off, but sometimes society knocks us off. I remember James Brown said, you know, you ain't got to open the door, just get out the way. I'll open it myself. You know what I mean? Like I kind of paraphrase that song, you know, get out the way and I'll do it myself, right? So you know, this is the hope of black people. So now I think that when we generalize things like equality, right? A lot of people think that, well, I can say the same thing you saying. I'm black just like you black. That's why we have a lot of problems, you know, when it comes to our black people. We're listening to what white people say. You know, if they have a certain stature or people have all these degrees behind them, and if they say it a certain way that we're accustomed to, we feel uncomfortable with, then we want to argue that type of equality. But you know some things are earned, and you just can't just like jump up and say, "Well, I want the same thing you got," if you don't apply yourself to get it. You know what I mean? And that's a lot. We have a lot of problems with our youth sometimes like that. You know, they don't have the ambition to do anything. You know, they think things should be handed to them in a certain way, and that's what equality is. Just having the same opportunities to do what anybody else does in this society, because I pay to be in this society. Whatever ways I do, where I pay taxes or whatever, where I buy things, I shop, or where I vote, or where I do not vote, I'm paying to be in this society, right?
That's good.
You know, I'm doing my share. Society should help me out. So it's about, you know, and I always say that freedom is independence of self. You know, responsibility of self is freedom. If you have complete responsibility of self, then you're free. Or you can, you know, you can put walls around you, but you can free yourself by your attitude and just your attitude about what's around you.
Good deal.
You know
good deal.
I mean? That is your power.
Good deal. Let me keep this thing going, Cassandra. I am and I'm gonna use what Ibrahim said. I'm a 2-year-old now, and I don't understand. You have to explain to me what is equality. What is equality, Cassandra? Cassandra, you there? Cassandra, can you hear me? Okay. Rico, talk to me, brother.
I mean, equality is, you know, just having the same opportunities as everybody else. The same freedoms to do what everybody else does. You know what I'm saying? You know, am I going to have an equal opportunity to walk down this street or go through this neighborhood without being harassed? Or am I going to have an equal opportunity to be spoken to, like you probably would somebody that looked like you? Am I going to have the same benefit of doubt when you have something come up missing, or I walk into a store and you may assume that I can't afford to buy the things that's in there, so you walking around and asking me if I need help a little bit too much? Are you going to treat me the same way you treat those people that you don't follow around the store like that? Are you going to speak as cordial and nice to me, or smile? Are you even going to smile or even respond if I speak to you first? So I mean, you know, that equality is balance. You know what I'm saying? Treating people the way you want to be treated. That's equality. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just break it down to the very beginning, you show them how it works. Treating people how you want to be treated and treating everybody the same. And expecting them to treat you the same as they treat everybody else. So, you know, once you start learning that vocabulary, you show them examples of equality, and then they'll get it from there. You know, I'm like Captain Dennis. I'm glad you changed it from that alien. Because, you know, I said once before, we were going to use aliens 9 times out of 10. If they came from here, from wherever they came from to here, I probably need to be asking them more questions. I'm pretty sure they ain't going to be asking me too many questions, because they know they're way above and way more accelerated. They probably know already how I feel and what was up next. They probably been through this process eons ago. You know what I'm saying? And so on. I just feel like, you know, if you were gonna stick to alien, I was gonna go to the alien or the immigrant, just to make it seem like it was somebody from another country, you know. But you know, if you really want to understand what equality is, and then you ask, is it really being accomplished? That goes back to what I was saying about democracy, but a democracy with an asterisk, equality with an asterisk, you know. And based on that last conversation we were having, we got to remember there's a lot of women out there that's not pro-abortion. A lot of women is anti-abortion. So we just can't think that it's all men that's trying to make this decision or has these opinions that's sticking and sounding so chauvinistic. It's some women that got the same opinion about there's no reason under the sun for a woman to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But me, you know, I say if we're gonna act like we know what democracy and equality is, we need to think: are we being thinking like that when we have our opinions?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
You know, am I basing my opinion based off of how I feel, and am I putting myself in their shoes?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Because if you put yourself in that other person's shoes, sometimes you might be able to say, well, once again, there's a time and a place for some things to happen. And then in some cases, some things are unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Thou shalt not kill.
Mm-hmm.
But in some times and places, for you to preserve your life, you might have to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm. Good. Stay right there. Let's keep this thing moving. Let me go to Navy. Navy, what's on your heart? What is equality?
I've been trying to think on how to word it. Like I have it in my head, but I can't articulate it. So the best way that I can sum it up is that I understand the concept of it and how I, to some degree, have control of what that equality looks like, but I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Mm-hmm. So if I had to explain that to a 2-year-old, that's honestly what I would say, because I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I'm still trying to understand how to truly obtain the action behind that word. I understand the logistic of it, and I understand what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fairness. It's supposed to be balance. It's supposed to be a healthy dance and equilibrium of, you know, I'm your sister, you're my brother. We watch out for each other and all that good stuff. But we don't put the action isn't consistent behind that word. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Absolutely. Cassandra, you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What is equality?
To me, it's someone having the opportunities, the same opportunities, rights and privileges of the masses. I mean, I you know, we don't have it. We don't have it right now. In some areas we do, but I think most of us right now, we don't have equality across the board, whether it comes to economics, housing ability, because we see that our market is so crazy right now that people can't even find a place that they can afford, and they're working some 2 jobs, and they still can't afford to live in a $1,200 apartment. And they're way over that right now. So I think when we get to equality, which I don't think we'll ever get to in this country, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be a spoiled sport, but I really don't believe we'll ever get that here. It's all about people having the opportunity, the rights and the privileges of everyone else, or let's put it like this, of the 1%, which I know will never happen.
Absolutely. Mr. Hicks, what's your view on equality?
Well, it's equal opportunity to achieve. You know, I think that in our situation here, I think in order to get full equality, we got to go back in history and turn the books for the whole planet. I mean, all of those, Germany, all those people that built this wealth that we're living through now off the backs of slaves. I think that have to be addressed to be established a base for equality. We're not poor because we didn't work or we didn't contribute. We poor because the system was designed against us. So reparations, and I know it's a difficult issue to sort out, but there'll be no equality until we go back and redress it. They did it with the Japanese. They did it with a number of different people in this country of the history, but they're never going back for us. I think equality is going to begin for us when they redress our past grievances, so we have them.
Wow, that's good. Willow.
Hey, Brian.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful this morning, Raheem.
Good deal.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, yes, Lord.
Doing
Yes, Lord.
awesome.
Well, what is equality?
First, I want to say good morning to my morning glow.
Good morning.
And that's a great question, Raheem, because I'm going to finally tell you where I worked at.
Okay.
I worked at M&M Mars for over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that we used to have a plant manager, I would ask the question. I would ask them, are they an equal person or are they a fair person?
Mm-hmm.
And some of them would say that they were fair. Some of them would say was equal. Fair, I just loved it for a person to be fair. Because, you know, sometimes we can't always be equal.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and here's the example that I gave at my job. You know, like if I worked all the time, I worked Sundays and Mondays and holidays, and I was that kind of person. And then there was a person that never did those things. So at a time where they used to say, well, you know, we're not going to give any weekends off or any holidays off this month because we got so-and-so going on. But there was a necessity at one time where I needed to get a Sunday off.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the fact that I'm the one that hadn't taken it, I'm the one that don't do it always in compliance, I needed that Sunday off and they gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he explained, well, he was being fair because she didn't do it all the time, but you did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's even in relationships, Raheem. If we counted up how we're going to be equal in a relationship, we'll never have a good one because it's unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you did this. Let me write that down. That's crazy. So you think about sometimes you can't be equal because there are certain environments or certain things that might happen or going on that I can't.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to, but we can't. And that's how I would kind of explain it.
Good deal.
But not as a 2-year-old. I would explain it differently.
I got you. Captain, anything on your heart before we move on to something else?
No, I think everybody did a great job. I want to just add to what Willa said. She's absolutely right. You know, you can't make the blind equal with the one that sees. You just can't. You just They want to be equal, but they're not equal. So you're absolutely right. You can't. Everybody can't. You know, when they say all men are created equal, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
All men are created equally. And there's a difference between equal and equally, meaning that, you know, all men and women are created equally, meaning it takes 9 months of gestation for us to come into the world. And it's to, you know, fertilization. That's equal. So nobody, you know, but if you come in the world blind, you can't be equal to the child that come in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make the poor equal to the rich.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very clear, and she said that, and I like that. And I think it's a great subject, and most certainly we want the equal membership among the best in civilized society. That's what's on the back of our newspaper with the Muslim one.
Mm-hmm.
We want equal membership with the best of civilized society.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, so whenever you treat civilized society, we want the same equal membership.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. I like what Brother Rico said. He was getting ready to go with the illegal aliens coming to the country, so we're not going to deal with that space. I like that, Rico. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to switch gears, but that's all I got to say. Thank you so much for asking me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Hicks, this is Way Out Wednesday, brother. What's on your heart you want to talk about?
Oh, wow. Oh, man. I'm stumped.
I hit you with that one, didn't
I? I'm stumped. I didn't expect that.
Okay.
Okay. Pass the mic.
hey, Cap, you got him passing the mic, Cap. You got him passing the mic. That's all right. Captain.
No, not like that.
No. I mean, that's just the thing. It's just the thing. No respect. You know, no disrespect at all. No disrespect at all.
Oh no, I didn't take it that way.
Yeah. Okay. But Captain, what's on your heart? What do you want to talk about this morning?
No, I think I hear what Brother said. No, he was saying let he get his thoughts together.
Yeah. That's all.
You gotta hit him. You gotta hit him with a 1-2 right quick, you know. But no, there's no question that I think, brother, all right, God, I don't know how do you come up with these subjects. I really don't know.
Mhm.
I clearly, but some of them, you have caused us to deal with some brilliant things. That's the truth. I am
Praise
not
God.
the same guy that I have been, man, because Morning Glow has really, really educated me. When I listen to the brilliance of what the history that Brother Ibrahim give, I hear Brother Rico, I hear Sister Willa, I hear my sister Cassandra. I mean, Badger. Everybody adds to.
Yes.
At least to me, I can only say to me, add to, Brother Hicks, add to me. Because I changed my opinion. I may have one opinion, and somebody could say something, and then I say to myself, wow, I never thought about it like that. And I changed my view.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of this show. Never should we ever be deprived the opportunity to share knowledge. I love the sharing of knowledge, you know, but this is never, and I want to make it very clear, at least I don't know. I never known this show to be a debate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see this as a debate. I never debated nobody on here.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to debate is to disagree and to argue your disagreement on a subject.
Yeah.
We have learned that you can disagree with somebody, but that's their opinion. For me, we'd be here all day debating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I disagree with you. No, see what you, no. I like what you said. I take what, if it's the truth, I take what's the truth. If I don't like it, I just, let's, as you say, let's keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for giving me this great opportunity. I'm on standby. I'm all ears, my brother.
Exactly. Let me ask this question. And this is something, Rico, I'm gonna start with you on this one right here. We got a couple other people that joined us, and I'm gonna come to each and every one of you. I promise you, I definitely will come to each and every one of you. But Rico, when will the robbery stop? When will the robbery stop? And I say that, and I'm coming to you from this angle right here. A lot of times, a lot of things has been taken out of the black community and robbed. It's been robbed, taken out of the black community. And we even said a couple of days ago, even rap music is something that was created within the community, but was taken out. We're talking about KFC. We know that recipe came from a sister, and he took it from her. There's so many different things I could talk about, and I could throw out there as examples right now. So I'm asking you the question: when will the robbery stop?
When we start taking things more serious, that we create an event and stop looking at it as just things that we do to pass time. I mean, when we understand where we come from and how most of the things that you see or that made the world what it is today, we actually looked at it as a convenience and took it for granted. And when we wake up our youth and make them realize how they should appreciate the things that they witnessed when they were born into this existence, because it may not have existed years before then, and how hard the times was. I mean, so you got to make people realize and appreciate really what they have. Understand that we are we're living in conditions and in an atmosphere and environment where you have to think about group survival, self-preservation, you know, but not to a point where you think that you could just do it all by yourself. And then understand the purpose and control and resources, having leverage and advantage, you know what I'm saying? The game. Because, I mean, it really is a game of life.
Yes.
You know, and in this game of life, you got groups of people that want to look out for their best interests, and they've been manipulating and creating conditions that hurt other classes of people and races of people, and creating and evolving and finding more and more ways to make sure that they can maintain their favor and their privilege and entitlement, their power, their control over resources. Get people to understand that, man, you just ain't born into this world to just say, okay, hey, look at what we got to have. Let's just have fun. Now, somebody got to make rules and laws to enforce justice, to keep control and to stop violence, to protect people, you know. So, I mean, when you start realizing and understanding really and truly the important things in life that give us the opportunity to experience this thing and to start making it more taking it more serious.
Wow.
Then we'll stop being robbed so much, because the thing about it is, like, if you just look at what happened with hip hop, it was a recreation for us.
Yeah.
We didn't try to monetize it. We didn't try to capitalize off of it. But for some reason, we still didn't realize that somewhere in psychology, being that we are based on the survival system that says that we have to afford and pay to survive. Somebody said, well, you know what? Let me keep finding a way to make money. And they said, well, you know what? If they desire it, crave it, or value it for any reason, put a price on it.
Yeah. Wow.
So now it's money over everything. And if it makes money, it makes sense. And it's a good thing if it makes money. And, I want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody want to sell everything, to the point of where the things that we said, this shouldn't be sold. You shouldn't sell this type of music. You shouldn't sell triple S music. Now you got women selling themselves.
Yep. 508.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you should kidnap people in sex trafficking. Well, how about I sex traffic myself? You ever heard of Craigslist and Backpage?
Yeah.
OnlyFans? Oh, you can fly across the country and buy a little piece of that thing now.
Wow.
And it's acceptable because it's making money.
Okay.
So, when we start understanding that, there has to be some integrity in that mindset, and understanding that, it shouldn't be money over everything. But at the same time, if you want to make sure you survive, stop giving away our great inventions and our great ideas so easily and looking at it as fun. Because once again, if it catches on and people start desiring or valuing it, somewhere somebody's gonna try to say, well, you know what? We can make some money off that. Look at how many people want that.
Okay, hold right there, Rico. Hold right there. I gotta move on to somebody else. Hold right there. We're gonna keep this thing going. I'm gonna go to Brother Pete. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Going in this order right here. We're going Pete, Toya, then we're gonna go Dennis, and then we're gonna circle our way back around to everybody. Brother Pete, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
We're doing good, yes, sir. We're doing good. What we on right now?
We're talking about when will the robbery stop? When will the robbery stop? And I'm talking from a standpoint of, the Black community has been come up with great things, rap music. I spoke about the KFC, and there's so many different things I could put out there, man. But they've been stolen from the community. When will the robbery stop, and we be able to keep what we invent, what we create, and make it best for our community? Not saying that everybody else cannot use it, but we have to hold on to something. When will the robbery stop?
Yeah, Brother Rico did, I think, an excellent job.
Absolutely.
In what he just stated.
Absolutely.
Us valuing what we create, understanding the value of what we create, the usage and the benefits of what we create, and the necessity of retaining ownership. Business by nature is warfare. So we, as a collective, have been denigrated, disrespected, used, abused, mistreated, taken for granted, and cast aside as a whole, and just utilized to the benefit of something or somebody else other than ourselves as a collective. So that will change when our mentality, our comprehension changes as well. And it's not separation and segregation, but it's taking full ownership. It's more so self-determination. The acknowledging and valuing of oneself and one's existence as a being. And then all that you're able to produce mentally, emotionally, physically, the abilities and talents that you have, realizing what is given to you was given to you to be yours. And what you choose to do with it, you can retain ownership and benefit to yourself or collective, to your desire. That's all on you. But we have to come into the fullness of understanding that's what it is and that's where it is. So I don't have to use you as an agent. I don't have to use you as a financier. I don't have to use you as a representative. I don't have to take on your philosophies and your opinions, your perspectives, your mentality. I can retain myself and be myself, and certainly everything that's able to come from me. And then how that can benefit me, and benefit mine, and benefit my family.
Wow.
So it's understanding that and holding to that. And then this is where it gets unreasonable, because you don't offer explanations or any reasoning with anybody outside of yourself relative to your position. I give you something, but you're here to get. It's a business deal. It's a contract. We're talking about contracts now. Well, you want the contract to be in your favor. Make sure it is. Write it so it is. If they give you an offer, you can counter that offer. You don't just have to accept the offer that they give you now. You can give them one as well.
Exactly.
Right? That's contract law.
Right. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning? Toya? Toya, you there? Let's go to Dennis. Dennis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning. I'm doing well, and just glad to be alive today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When will the thieving stop?
Yes.
Guess what? It will never stop because of the system we've been brought up under. The capitalist system makes you a cutthroat type of person, as opposed to being a communal type of person. So basically, it's a system that was created, and if they perfected it, we are now trying to perfect this system that they create. So it will never stop. And if we want it to stop, then we've got to educate our youngsters pretty early and not be exposed to the whole thing way down the line. So we look at certain percentage of the population, and we would like to know, well, how come they're able to do what they do? We created it, but they're the one that monetizing it, right? Because they've looked at it always is how much money I can make off of this person. As you say, as we've all stated, we are doing it for love. They're doing it for money. So if, we want it to stop, we'll have to, beat them at the game. So, I mean, that's how I see it. That's what I don't think that's the route we should go. But in this system that was created, and remember, we are relatively new to the system that they already created. They've been in this system for hundreds of years.
Yes.
Perfecting it. So we are now in this for, a little bit time. And if you look at it, right, I make this analogy, right? White men come to Africa, they're in a jungle, and you send them out there to go and hunt. Do you think they'll be able to do that in the forest X amount of years? No, because it's a system how you do hunting. So they'll die, they'll perish until you possibly advise them about tactically how to kill a lion, how to hunt. Same thing, reverse that, and we have been brought into this system that they have created for hundreds of years. And if we want to get it to stop, if that's what our intent is, then we've got to beat them at the system that they create. And I mean, we have examples of it. We've had Jackie Robinson and all the greats that have learned sports, learned things, perfected, beat them, and have excelled to the point where even when you excel, they discredit you. And matter of fact, they see you better and they'll do everything to stop you. So we've got to understand, right? If we want to beat them in the system that they created, we've got to learn it, and you beat them at their own game.
Wow.
So if we want it to stop,
good deal.
If we don't, then we will go to a different track.
Ibrahim, when will the robbery end? When will the robbery stop? What do you say to that, brother?
When we recognize that it's not a robbery, and we recognize that that we can be our own, we can do our own things, be our own leaders, right? I think of George Washington Carver, one of the greatest scientists in the 20th century.
and the greatest science has been known. He created synthetic rubber knowledge, but you know what? He never did any patenting on his creations, right? He said that belongs to people, that belongs to everybody. They got memorial statues up in Oklahoma and Missouri about how he was able to help farmers, get from that cotton to get that soil back right.
Hey, Ibrahim, you're talking directly to your phone, brother? Is it a little bit low?
Okay, phone might be low a little bit. So now what I'm saying is that, think about how would you do it if you were going to have a nation, you was going to rule. You have these people that depend upon you, your judgment and your ideas, like you do in a family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you look ahead, you plan ahead. You look at what your opportunities that you have, what things you had. Sam Cooke actually was the first black performer, to make his own label. And they said that's some reason why he got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Because then after that you had performer doing their own label. Now we have performers doing their own labels. But like hip hop to me didn't have any value, right? I didn't see the profit potential of it. It had no value. So, but I didn't have the resources to have. A lot of people had the resources to get all these radio stations to play something that people didn't really care about, really didn't want to hear. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then it made it popular. Then they created a whole trend. I use one analogy. Dr. Amos Wilson used an analogy when the Nation of Islam invented the bean pie. It became a whole cultural thing. It was out the long Lincoln pie. You had to be in the know to have a bean pie. You had to be part of the black movement to have a bean pie. That stated, I'm down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And a whole lot, like wearing the afro and everything. So we have to understand that we have control over our own selves. We have control of our own will if we want to choose to do so.
Mm-hmm.
What prioritize? People need food, right? People don't need hip hop. People need food. People need us. We don't manufacture anything. We depend on other people to manufacture things for us so we can make decisions about it. Or how come we can't do this? How come we can't have that? Well, because you never applied yourself to do that particular thing. And I might sound very harsh, but I'm about the Nubian nation, right? And it's a real thing, right? If we applied ourselves to take advantage of the opportunities that we have displayed and given to others, right, we would be magnificent. This country was built because builders came from Africa. This country had agriculture system because agriculture came from Africa. But the distribution, everything in the hands of who? The Europeans. The money, the transfer of money in the hands of the Europeans, right? The Arabs invented the transfer of money and the check. The first time you could transfer money without taking whole volumes of gold or silver, whatever, or spices. Then you could just give a statement to somebody on the other end of the world, and they honor that statement, right? Because that means that amount of gold. And you have to transfer it a safe way, right?
Wrap it up for me, brother. We gotta keep it going. Wrap it up for me, brother.
Mm-hmm. I think that nothing's being stolen from us, right? We just had not used the opportunity to capitalize off of what we have and what we do, or either understand that we still talk about slavery as that's all we were. We were much more. We were able to live within the environment of that environment and succeed and thrive. You know what I mean? So it's right now. I think it's all about who we are and what we want to actually do.
Good deal. Mr. Hicks, when will the robbery stop?
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Never. It's sort of the nature of ideas in business. They travel. It's almost like an idea. I was speaking something about the telephone. When the telephone was invented, there was 3 other people who had the same idea at the same time. It was a race to the patent office.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's how we view things. We have to shift the way we view things. I was thinking about hip hop. I read this thing about hip hop is that when they took all the music out of the school systems. I remember when I went to grade school, middle school, I had clarinet one year, violin the next. We had a chance to try things. But when they cut the finances for the school system and took music out of the repertoire, talk about us as a people. We saw beating on drums, making music with our mouth.
Yeah.
So I think that culture still for each other. They call it cultural appropriation. Just what happens.
That's good. That's good. Let me go. You want to tell you back with us? Toya,
I am.
Good deal. Toya, when will the robbery stop?
Well, no, I'm like everybody else. The robbery won't stop. First of all, we got to get our community to stop getting robbed. If you don't lock your door, you're gonna get robbed every time you park in the hood. I'm just saying. And that's what this is to black people. America is like the hood, and we keep parking outside without locking the door. We got to get our own community first. How we not gonna get it stolen? And then we know the booth runs to start the show. So until we start doing our own thing, building our own community, it ain't even a robbery. It's like it's getting taken by law. And they've been doing it. They did it with the cotton gin, the whole multitude of other things. Even with the music, why we keep buying it?
Yeah.
Even with the KFC and the pancake lady, it's a whole slew of them. Why we keep giving into it, knowing that they stole it from us?
Come on.
So at this point, there's no robbery. We giving it to them. Yeah, here. Oh, yeah, here you go. Take it. Yep. You been beating and killing and murdering us. We don't want to fight no more. Take it. And we're still going to live up under your law. We're still going to keep parking in your parking lot, knowing that it's dark. Come on, y'all. So until we understand that, first of all, your hands are up, and we're under a robbery, and we start to do something to protect it, we're gonna keep getting robbed. We still not closing the door. We still not locking the door. We still saying we're gonna create. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Ain't nobody gonna steal from us, and their kids still come stealing from us because we don't make sure that we got it locked up. Right? It goes back to something what Rico said. We don't treasure it.
Yeah.
Because when we treasure it, and it's a treasure, we bury it and make maps and all kind of stuff. We hide it in attics and all kind of stuff. So what? So they can't get to it.
Exactly.
So it ain't a robbery no more. It's free game.
Wow.
And we got no protection. And again, you know what? Every time I go to work and we do the same thing every day, I'd be like, don't y'all understand this is insane? This is what black people do.
Wow.
We live in the midst of insanity. We keep doing the same thing over and over again. And I don't know why I got robbed. Because you ain't like your dog, Goofy.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just being 100.
Good
we
deal.
keep living in the same American United States. Keep talking about the same thing year after year, over and over for 40, 50, 60, 500 years. And we keep coming back. So far as I'm concerned, until we start to build our own community, still we get our own thing, we're going to keep getting stolen from and robbed from. So we learn how to lock our doors and put our alarm system on.
508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Love to have your input. Badger, when will the robbery stop?
Once we start teaching and it becoming more common knowledge of being responsible for your actions and your choices instead of blaming other people. And that's something that I feel majority of America has forgotten and hasn't been passed down anymore. Nowadays, we let other people dictate our lives. Everything from boiling down to just victimization has become the new norm. And most of the time, when you ask a robber why they did what they did, it's normally someone else's fault and they don't accept responsibility for their choice. There's always another way to handle something that, or to do something that doesn't require it to do an act of wrong, even though it might be a harder choice. And, it's just like working on trauma and different things like that. Sometimes to become the best human beings that we can be, we have to go through pain, be it emotional, physical, or things like that. And I think there are too many people that are afraid of it. Well, I say afraid, and I think that's the wrong word, to be honest. I don't think there's enough there. The teaching has been lost. I mean, how many times have you heard the devil made me do it? Like, it's just, how can the devil make you do something? You have to give him power. You know, if you walk in light, you choose to be a servant to be of light. Well, if you're doing evil things, you choose to be a servant of the other side. So, where did the teaching of be responsible for yourself
Okay.
disappear over the last 40 years?
I think that's a little different than what we're talking about right now in regards to the robbery. But I understand what you're saying about free will, but I think a part of that was just a little bit different. Let me go on
Okay,
this.
so ask your question the exact same way.
When will the robbery stop? And we're talking about how society has taken so many different things from our community, and not allowed us to have the ownership of it.
Okay, so
Yeah, give me your quick version, but Badges, but you had 3 minutes already, so I gotta move to somebody else. Give me your quick version.
if you think about what I'm saying or
I
what I
do.
said,
I heard exactly what you said, brother.
that's how you stop it.
Wow. Okay. Let's go to Cassandra. Cassandra, and then I'm going to Willa. Cassandra, what's on your heart? When will the robbery stop?
I don't think it. Boy, I'm sounding pessimistic today. Once again, I don't think it will stop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it will stop. I think that there will always be somebody taking what rightfully belongs to our community, especially if money is involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that's what I'm understanding your question.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it ever stops.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I hate saying that because I sound so pessimistic,
But
unfortunately,
is it rooted in truth?
huh?
But is it rooted in truth?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Willa?
Hey, Raheem, I was thinking, about our culture, and if we say things like, they're always late, put it in a book, they won't read it, they procrastinate. So I say that because when we start to learn what we need to know in order to stop allowing other cultures or other people to steal our ideas, our visions, and our dreams, we'll have a leg to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
But until we get rid of those attributes, come on now, till we get rid of them, come on, we're always late. Come on, what event, how many times are we waiting and setting our time according to the way we act as a culture? So until we stop doing those things, stop being lazy, letting somebody else do it for you, giving somebody else your idea, sharing your vision and your dream without writing it down, without patenting it, without getting the knowledge you need to know before putting it out there, then and only then will we be that would anybody be stop being robbed of their ideas, their dreams, and their visions. And that's what's on my heart.
So basically what I'm hearing you say is a legalistic thing.
You bet your bottom dollar, then you have a leg to stand on because of the fact that when it becomes legal, it becomes documented. It becomes proof that you have to prove that it was yours. Until then, it is what it is.
Okay. Wow. Cap, what do you say to that, Cap? When will the robbery stop?
Well, will a man rob God?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
So, if a person would rob God, we ain't got a chance. But the bottom line is, you can't. I've always heard you can't take advantage of an honest person. You know, people who think that they can rob an honest person, you're really robbing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we have some very brilliant ideas. The sad part about our community is that we don't have a platform to be able to take young people with brilliant ideas and help them to bring their ideas into fruition. We come up with I mean, brothers, listen, all the ideas and things I come up with my mind. If I had money, Lord knows if I had some money, I would
Come on.
be able to implement these ideas. I would, man, listen. And I mean, I don't even want to waste my time telling you some of the ideas. But you know what makes ideas? Ideas come from poor people who always have to do it the hard way. So God always say, there got to be a better way to pick this cotton. And that's why we got the cotton gin. It's got to be a better way to do this. So we always come up with the ideas.
Like Sam, and he like Whitney stole the idea. That's right. Like Sam said.
We always come up with the great ideas.
Yeah.
Did you know that when you look at the Cadillac that they call, I forgot what they call the Continental Cadillac, when the tire is on the back of the Continental Cadillac?
Yes.
That was the black person that came with that. The Chrysler 300 that looks like what they call the Bentley. It was a black man that came up with the Chrysler. It was the biggest selling car because it had the image of a Bentley, but we know it wasn't. But it was about, I mean, so when we look at all of the brilliant ideas, of course, we know about the blood plasma. Dr. Dre, we know the history.
Yes.
But God knows we are a very creative people. But we have made many, many people rich, but ourselves. People come, let me tell you something. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I lived in Buffalo, New York for 20 years. Do you know that the original Buffalo chicken wing was designed, created by his brother named John Young? Mr. Young was the one, he used to work for the Anchor Bar. The Anchor Bar, they called the Anchor Bar the home of the Buffalo, of the original Buffalo wing. And John Young was a chef. He was a chef in the Anchor Bar. And my man Young, it was, let me tell you the true story. It was late one night, and some customers was coming. They had already closed. The lady that owned the Anchor Bar went back there and said, listen, John, I know you closed up the kitchen. Can you whip something up? I got some friends coming. He went back there and whipped up the buffalo wings. And when he brought the buffalo wings out, man, he got the hot sauce and the butter. He did his thing. Man, when them people said, oh. So the lady comes back to John, what was that? He said something like, so it got on the menu. And it became what we know as the buffalo wing.
Wow.
But he could not take it and claim it because he got it working for her. So she's patented. She's patented. But everybody knows John Young. So he left there, opened up a restaurant. So when we went to get some wings, we didn't go to the Anchor Bar. We went to John Young because we know he's the originator.
Yeah.
But most black people don't know that. So when you say, when are we going to stop being robbed? You can't rob a person that has a knowledge of themselves. When are we going to stop being robbed? When we wake up and recognize the value of each other and put aside our petty differences for the good of unity.
Yes.
We're going to always disagree with certain things. But when it comes to us uniting and get behind one individual like you, Brother Raheem, you know, we appreciate your show. But sometimes, you know, I give anonymous to you. You don't know that.
Yes, sir.
Because why? I don't want everybody to know, man, listen, bro, I know you need a little couple dollars. I have an organization. People just don't give. And I'm out there boots on the ground.
Yes, sir.
But man, you know, so I said, let me shoot my man with a few dollars. It ain't nothing but some tools of fuels. But you know what? This is us coming together, showing appreciation to one another. And that's the beginning of us. Stop being robbed, because you can't come in my home and rob our brother and you don't pay a price for it.
Absolutely.
We have to think like
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brother Pete, talk to me, brother. When will the robbery stop?
Well, I think we done went through a circle, man. Like they said, the love of money, as long as the love of money is there, and it'll cancel out any morals, principles, and character. We're gonna always have thieving, stealing, and until we're able to really do some drastic things, come into the knowledge of ourselves, our existence, our value, and be able to hold it without any impediment, nothing impeding on your interest, your ownership, your ability to use it or utilize it or distribute it. We will continue to have theft. It will continue. And certainly as long as others can see or position themselves to increase their financial standing off of others' creations or holdings, there will be stealing. There will be theft. It will continue to happen, to occur. But for us collectively, as a culture, as a people, as an ethnicity, we have to take back the ownership. We have to hold what we create and manufacture and control the ownership of every aspect of it. Because ultimately, if you're recording something in a structure that is operated and maintained predominantly by others other than you, are you registered of what you say you manufactured or created? Or can they co-opt that very documentation that you have as official and still make it so it can be stolen?
Wow.
So the rabbit hole is very deep when we talk about the actual factual legitimacy of ownership,
That's
of
good.
interest, of equity. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot more knowing, a lot more learning, a lot more comprehension. But it's going to take determination.
Yeah.
It will take an unwilling, uncompromising, determination in what's best for you and not regarding others. That loving, compassionate, giving, caring for the whole world concept that we tend to have as a people, you're going to have to rein that in and keep it for yourself and for yours more so first and nobody else, and don't apologize. Not saying that you're not there to help everybody and continue to be kind and gentle, sure. But secure yourself and yours first.
Good deal. Good
so
deal.
If we can't have a piece of the rock, it shouldn't be no rock. How about that?
There you go. There you go. Let me go to Toussaint. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? You're early for the day. You're late for the day, but super early for tomorrow. Good to have you, brother. Toussaint, when will the robbery?
I figured you were gonna say that in that 2 minutes. One now.
When will the robbery stop?
It always was and always will be. I guess. I mean, I ain't been robbed. So what? What do you mean by the robbery? That. If you think you robbed, I guess you are. So what am I missing? I know I wasn't in on the conversation, but you can help me out a little bit.
Well, we actually talk about our community. We're talking about our community and how a lot of times what happened is, we come up with the great ideals. We made reference to made reference to hip hop and how that was stolen from the community, monetized, and now other people are capitalizing on it. We talked about KFC, how she came up with the ideal. Well, she came up with the concept of the great recipe. It was taken away. We had that. Had a lot of different things going on, and the captain talked about the buffalo wings from Buffalo, New York, and the brother that actually started that in somebody else's restaurant, but it was taken from him. So when will the robbery stop?
When we stop giving it away. I mean, we offer it. It's almost like we offer it. We make everything public for everybody. We're the ones we kind of like. We for everybody. We the only ones for everybody and nobody for us. I don't share stuff out of my house. For everybody. Y'all all come eat. And then I'm sitting at the table hungry. That don't make no sense. We need to stop that.
Yeah.
Because if you they say if you learn better, no, we are tapped. But if you learn better, do better. That's it.
That's good. That's good. Rico, finish up the thought, brother. When will the robbery stop?
It so made me think of Black Panther, and that concept of that movie, they have a resource there that people from the outside want to get their hands on. But they've been doing their best to make sure not only do they not let that resource get away, but they keep it for themselves, for their best benefit. But for some reason, we don't appreciate the things we do or pay attention to people that we should pay attention to until somebody else make them billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to ask yourself, well, what are our value systems? See, the thing is, they got us confused and sort of, manipulated, because it takes money to survive and it takes money to be able to produce some of these inventions, unless you get, sort of, you have an ingenuity about you. You get innovative, like some of them people in Africa that create technology from trash.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really have those type of, innovative people, those inventors. So when we do come up with something, being that we want the American dream and it takes money to survive and do all the final things and to do the things in life that you want to do, we're quick to sell it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we think that it's more valuable money-wise. But what if you come up with an invention that can create water out of thin air, like the guy from Texas, the black guy? He might be in danger one day if he don't sell it. The guy in Buffalo that got killed in the grocery store had a car engine running off water, and he ain't the only one. He ain't the first one to do that. We ain't got that. And the people that come up with those inventions, they die. Some people buy them, get those inventions, patent them, and then sit them on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, to get to the point where we say, well, you know what, since y'all are doing that and sabotaging us from better technology and keeping us from being able to reap the benefits from it, how about we don't participate in what y'all produce? See, we got to stop being so willing to consume.
Yeah.
And be a part of that system. Once we understand we're part of the capitalism system, then we have to ask ourselves, what is for sale? Is my integrity for sale? Because we selling a lot of our integrity because of the zeros and the commas being more important. But really and truly, some of the things that have been invented help mankind and help our community so much. Maybe we should have just kept it to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when we saw they were interested, we should have paid attention to history. See, education and knowledge in history is big in this too, because if you pay attention to history, you'll know that Columbus discovered America. They'll come and rob you, man.
Mm-hmm.
They'll rob you.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And they transported some people over here to do their work and not want to pay them fairly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they will steal and rob not only resources, but human resources, human beings. If they find out about you,
Mm-hmm.
they'll invade you, conquer you, colonize you, and take over everything that you did and dominate and control you. So maybe you ought to move a little differently, a little more strategically, and keep some of these things from there. I'm going to say, if you can keep them from being aware of it, keep them from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And use it for your benefit. But it really is going to be hard to do that, because once they find out about it, or once we feel like, hey, somebody pay some money for this, the first thing we want to do is sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we value money over everything.
Good deal. Now, Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today?
If you missed today's show,
hold on. I'll come right back to you. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today?
If you missed today's show and would like to hear us see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Good deal. Somebody wanted to say something? Give me, whoever it is, give me your quick version. We got to get out of here.
Yeah. Okay, that's Ibrahim.
Ibrahim,
right?
hey, Ibrahim.
I think one thing that one thing I'm hearing is everybody's saying we. That's why I keep saying Nubian Nation, right? And that's we, right? Because these things weren't stolen. The guy that did the self-lubricating thing was a black guy. He was doing it on trains, because trains didn't have a way of self-lubricate. They had to stop every so many miles and lubricate the bearings and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with car, the windshield wipers. Same thing with that. But the things that we seem to be more concerned about the growing of crops and manufacturing things. We have no desire for that, but we find exception to everything else. Now, if you don't have a black woman was the one that came up with the idea of using genetic research in order to stop to kill cancer, right? But she didn't. But she wasn't a biologist. She didn't have any. She got people supporting her, but she didn't have a pharmaceutical support her, right? So eventually, she sold the idea of pharmaceutical, and now we have these things happening. Right, but that just show you that it benefits the whole in some way or another. It wasn't stolen, but she had an opportunity. So if we had an opportunity to produce or to utilize resources, right? Like they say the Indians lost America because they didn't analyze the resources. They didn't need it, want it. Somebody came in and was able to use the resources effectively for their own benefit. Now that's stealing, but however, it's there. And did you need it? No. Somebody else needed it. Yeah, that's what happened. But in a whole long story, make a long story short is right. If we really feel that, we had a conversation with a member on the show, a private conversation, and I said, well, you know what? It ain't nothing wrong with white supremacy. It ain't nothing wrong with white nationalism. You know what I mean? I want to have. I want us to look at things nationalistically. Look at ourselves as a nation. You know what I mean? Because that's what's important. The reason that we have a problem with it because it defies us. It takes away the resources from us. But we look at it as money. We look at everything.
Now, Ibrahim.
Everything else but
Now, we got to get out of here. You're gonna give us a sermon at the end, brother. Don't give us a sermon at the end, brother. Like, we got to get on up out of here.
Amen, brother.
Let
me get started here. Wait, hold on.
Ibrahim said, "Amen, brother." Huh? Yo, I ain't fooling with you. I ain't fooling with you, Ibrahim. Ibrahim, I ain't fooling with you, man. I ain't fooling with my mute button there. Hold on. Watch this. Bam. Bam. See how that mute button work? That joke will work every now and then. That joke will work. But listen, anybody else have anything they want to say real quickly before we get out of here? Well, if nobody else have anything to say, I got one thing to say. Well,
Hey, Ryan, come on, Ryan, let's go.
Well, are you there? Are you ready?
Ryan, I am ready. I am so ready, Raheem, to receive God's word. Let's go.
Well, you know what?
Go,
I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna get out the way. I'm just gonna say, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to the throne of grace this morning. Let's go to the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Father, we thank you so much for waking us up this morning to see another day. Father, we thank you for all that you do in our lives, oh Lord. Father, we thank you for the protection that you allow your angels to be encamped around us, oh Lord. Father, we love and honor you this morning, and we praise you, and we give you the glory. Father, I'm asking you to touch your children this morning. Touch each and every last one. Father, you know what's on their hearts, oh Lord. Father, you know what they're going through, oh Lord. And Father, we believe and stand on your words this morning. Father, we trust no man, but we trust you, Lord. You said it in your word that without faith, it's impossible to please you, Lord. And Father, we're trying to please you this morning because you said it in your word that by your stripes we're healed. And someone need a healing this morning, oh Lord. Father, I'm asking you to allow the Holy Spirit to guide them and lead them, direct them, show them your way and line them up with your will. Thank you for the power, Lord, the power that you bestow on us through the Holy Ghost. Father, we love you. We honor you and glorify you this morning. Touch Raheem in the morning glory, Lord. Father, keep him in a mighty way. Allow praise reports to come back on tomorrow, Lord. I don't know what it is, but someone going to have a praise report. I thank you, Lord, for it. I'm honoring you, glorifying you in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. I thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes, Lord.
Glory to God, Raheem, this morning. Give glory to him. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, Lord. Good deal. Good deal. And I want to put some information out there before we get out of here, man. We on February the 18th, we're having our first annual. We're doing a pageant. We're doing a pageant, and this pageant is for our seasoned young ladies. This pageant is for our seasoned young ladies. If you are 50 years young or older, we're having a beauty pageant for you. I want you to get in contact with us, reach out to us. We'll get all the information to you. Come on and join us. We want our 50-year-old and above to come on out here and be a part of this beauty pageant. We're calling it the Miss Golden Years. It is the Miss Golden Years. So if you know anybody that have that spunk, that fire, and want to get up on that stage and show what they got, a beauty is timeless. That's our tagline. Miss Golden Years beauty is timeless, and yes, it is. So we're having our pageant for young ladies ages 50 years young and older. So reach out to me, let me know, or send me an email at dkmmediagroup1@gmail.com. And when you send that, if you're interested in being a part of it, just type in there, I am golden. That'll let me know that you want to be a part of this that we're doing on the 18th of February. All right. Good deal.
Raheem.
Yes, sir.
You do me a favor, man.
Yes, sir.
First off, I want to say congratulations to Dusty Baker, because I know I've been meaning to say that for a few days. Congratulations to Dusty Baker for being the oldest coach to win a World Series. That brother has been breaking ground and knocking down barriers in Major League Baseball. And sort of go back to what I was saying earlier about us, paying attention and recognizing our people when they accomplish goals. But I was mainly hoping that you could send me Captain Dennis information, man, and about his organization and everything going on.
Yes, sir.
I want to get more in tune with that, and then at the same time, might be able to network and pull some stuff off and hear it when I move to Florida.
Okay, good deal. Good. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we'll talk after the broadcast. I'll make sure you get that information that you need.
All right.
Okay, good deal. Now, I'm looking at the clock. It is now 10:12. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:12. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light of you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Have a great day. Love you. See you tomorrow. God say the same.